GP Transco. How about that? It's Trucking Answers and it's Weiner Monday. And I'm here, right here, with Sergey Bort from GP Transco. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hey,
sir.
what's going on, folks? It's awesome to be here. Thank you, Mark, for coming in and doing the show from our headquarters. Really exciting. So I'm on the executive team in GP Transco. I run all of the branding, marketing, public relations, a lot of the strategy work and things like that. So real glad to be here. Before we get started, I wanted to give Mark a little bit of a surprise. So Mark, you were the first one, I would say, that really kind of recognized what it is that we do for drivers at GP Transco a little over 3 years ago. You put out a video called "The Company Doing It Better," I think.
Yeah.
And after that, that really helped spread the word about what it is that we do at the company. So I want to give you this. It's a
that's
perfect
great.
replica of GP Transco Teal Cascadia. I know you don't see a whole
It's
lot
the
of them.
only one I've ever seen.
So now you can look at it whenever you're thinking that it's not really.
Oh,
that we
thank you
don't
very
actually have
much.
them.
That's
So-
great.
And you can see some of them in the
I appreciate
background,
that.
too.
There's a few of them back there being worked on right now.
It's actually the last one that we have. We ordered 150 of these, and that's the last one. So
Oh, well, you need to
yours.
sign it then before I go.
That's a
So
good
they
idea.
Can, yeah.
There you go.
And then eBay.
and then
They go, oh, did he sign that? That's a signed one. Well, thank you very much for that. I
of course.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
So, let's see what people are doing out here on Weiner Monday. Does that model have the digital dash? Oh, this is the
that
model.
model might. I'll need to look inside.
We have to check the inside of that. Happy Monday, Paul Vines. What's going on? Kelly Peston. Patterson, right? Your load weighed 20 degrees. Oh, that was for somebody else that are talking in there. Hey, Wild Bill. Wild Bill is here today. I can't believe it. Don't see you that often. What is going on out there? Hey, Richard, what's going on? Caleb, what do you want to say? What's one thing you'd say about GP Transco to drivers that might have questions? What's like the biggest question you get, so we can just get that answer right out of the way?
Well, we promote a lot of the things we do. We're super transparent about what we pay, about what we offer, and everything else. So the biggest thing
there
is
you go. Let me butt in right there to a question. Are you hiring out of Maine?
we're hiring out of Maine.
Right. And would you give a
Absolutely.
driver a second chance that may have problems?
It really depends on it. It would need to be a case-by-case basis.
They should call.
We should call, yeah. But
And be-
we're very transparent with everything. So if you go on our website, you can download all of the information there. I don't like the idea of a driver having to talk to a recruiter to get the information. So if you go on the website, you can download everything. You don't necessarily have to talk to a recruiter before you do it.
Yeah,
So-
that's the one thing about GP. One of them is that all the information's available.
Yep.
You don't have to go and have a recruiter, we'll call you back or whatever.
And we really try to treat people like people, no matter how big we get.
Not
So-
like robots.
Not
That's
like
the
robots.
new thing, right?
That's our new motto. Yeah,
I know.
we treat you like people, not like a robot. So that's really what I would say. If you want to learn about us, I mean, go on our website. We don't hide anything. It's kind of what you see is what you get. Essentially, we treat people well. We put them in new equipment, and
You need a tanker fleet.
Yeah.
No vaccination required, is that correct?
not at the moment. This mandate or whatever you might call it, this OSHA regulation
Yeah.
potential. It's really new. It's not clear where it's going to go. We're really waiting out to see what's going to happen. We'd really prefer to wait and not kind of jump the ship, jump the gun or whatnot, and do it now. So,
Yeah, because if the law changes, you'll have no choice but to do it. I mean,
yeah,
really.
right now we're not mandating anything,
Right.
and we'll see where this thing goes.
Well, Bill still wants to be a spotter.
I know Brett, who's going to be on here later, our VP of maintenance. I told him exactly that we have a candidate for the spotter if and when we hire one. So he's going to be the first guy I call.
All right,
I
well,
have,
we
I
got
have your
one.
phone number. So
Now, back to that question, then. What is
Yeah.
the biggest question that you get here as I
The
interrupt
biggest
you
one
repeatedly?
yeah, no problem. The biggest thing we get, I mean, honestly, the pay. The biggest thing people ask is
What's the
pay.
pay?
The pay is base is 60 cents a mile. Accessorial pay adds another 3 or 4 or 5 depending on the week. So a company driver during the first year with the company would end up making between 80 and 90,000 a year, full benefits. So it's
I can verify
Pretty
that
good.
by the cars in the parking lot, which I walked through
Yeah, it's pretty
earlier. There was a bunch of nice cars in the parking lot.
some of our owner ops have much nicer cars than us office staff actually, which is
Wow.
so if you go into the owner operator.
Oh, they get their own
area-
parking lot?
Yeah, there's another.
Oh,
parking
because the
area.
cars are so high level that,
Yeah,
that's
we
the
protect
security
them.
guard. I did see a security guard guarding, so that must be why, because the owner operator cars get,
Some of those owner ops got really nice cars.
there was a valet stand there too. I thought that was pretty
Yep.
nice.
With
That's
the
pretty nice
teal
that you
tickets.
found. Teal, all right, only teal cars. Let's see, it's not a mandate if you choose to get tested weekly. Yeah, you'll have to see what the law is.
Yeah.
Whatever the law is, I'm sure you'll have to follow the law because that's what a company does.
Right
Or
now,
they'll close you.
right now we're not doing it. We're gonna wait until we
'Cause
know
it's no
more.
law.
It's no law, and it's not passed yet. And then, from everything I've read, it's even from within the time it's passed, you have either 75 days or 45 days to implement it, and
Yeah.
there might be issues in between,
Never know.
exemptions that people can, all kinds of things.
What kind of mileage scale are they using? Oh, that's a good question. So your household goods miles, or how do you pay people? Or is it practical miles?
It's practical miles.
Right. That's what we wanted to hear. Practical
Practical
miles.
miles.
Right. There will be no loss, so that's good. OSHA. Right? People are not impressed with OSHA. Believe
I'm
me.
aware.
Yeah. Good morning, Kelly Patterson. Oh, Smart Trucking here too today. I didn't see them.
Oh, yeah?
That's good. I didn't
Hey,
see
guys.
them in there. Smart Truck. Boy, they came in today. Wow.
Yeah.
Smart Trucking. They. How much for breakdown pay and how much for detention and when does it start? Aviator Trucker. That's a threefer right
Off
there.
the top of my head, I cannot. I'll need to look at our policy. It starts after 2 hours. I think Brad, the next gentleman, is going to be on here. Will be able to answer that a little better than me. I don't remember off the top of my head, but it's on our website. Just go on our website, download the full compensation packet, and it's in there. In fact,
But does it pay automatically? Let's ask that.
yeah, you
Because-
don't have to ask for it. It's
Okay.
going to be added automatically.
So you don't have to go
Everything's-
beg you for it, and
Correct,
if you get
correct.
paid, then they get paid either way,
Correct.
whether you can get the money from the company or
Yes,
not.
and I'm
Because
gonna
some
go
places
on
are
our-
like that. They're like, oh well, if we get paid, we might pay you eventually.
No, you're paid regardless.
Yeah,
You're paid
but believe me,
regardless.
that's a thing. It is
a lot of
thing.
it is from contracted freight. So
It's Mr. Plows here. What's going on? Hey, what's happening? He's saying hello to GP. KB is 61 cents a mile and guaranteed 1,500 a week at KB. But that is for road warriors who are out. What is that? It's a long-term out, right? 2 months or something, it's 4 weeks. It's a while out. Truckers Coach is in the chat. What's
hey,
going
Coach.
on, Truckers
What's going
Coach?
on, Coach?
Yeah, K&B does have a high guarantee and 61 cents, but for road warriors, so they're out. What do you need? What does a driver expect to be out here before they get some home time?
It depends on where the driver's from. Minimum is 2 weeks.
2 weeks. So
you'd
let's
be
say
out-
they live near Joliet, beautiful Joliet, Illinois here.
If you live in Joliet, you might actually be a regional driver. At that point, you can be home every weekend.
Okay.
It depends.
If you want to stay out a
It
couple
depends on the position you're hired
How about
for.
if they live in Maine? That's by at least a couple of
Maine,
weeks.
I think that's 3 weeks out.
Yeah,
3 weeks,
because
3 days
you're
home.
just it's hard to get anybody in Maine.
Yes,
So
Maine and Florida. Florida is the
yeah, you don't
most
even hire
difficult
for
place.
most of Florida, right?
We do now, but we.
Oh, really? I'll have to tell people.
It's more for guys that really want to live in the truck. It's hard for me to imagine.
Am I going to be on any of the space missions by Jeff Bezos? Yes. I'm going with Shatner in the rocket that is shaped unusually. I'm sure you saw the shape of that
saw the
rocket.
shape.
It's
I'm not gonna
weird.
comment on that
No,
shape.
we try to keep it family friendly here on YouTube so we don't get a rating on there. My choice is to stay out 6 weeks and take 6 days off. Would that be possible here? What do you think about that?
Yeah, we do up to 7, so you can stay 7 and be home for 7 days.
And they're like, please go home for a while. You're stinking the truck up. Let the air of the truck out.
Just
or
go
whatever.
home and relax.
Yeah, because eventually you get burned out. I mean, I will tell you, I've been out as long as 5 months. So
Mm-hmm.
before I came home, I stayed out, left in January and didn't get home until May. That's ridiculous, by the way.
What was the question before about the detention pay?
Do you hire from Hawaii? We have that on there.
We actually have a team driver, husband and wife, that are from Hawaii, but they're like living in their truck. So we'll fly you in if you want to.
Like kind of like Schneider. Schneider's big on that, by the way. Schneider has make a big deal about it. You can live in any of the 50 states, and they will fly you in to where they need you, drive you for a couple weeks, and fly you back home. So you live in Alaska, Hawaii. You're doing that here too.
We're not flying drivers home. That we're not doing.
So one way.
Yeah, I mean, if somebody wants to fly
Too
into
bad.
orientation and all that, but we only have a handful of people that are from Hawaii.
It just was an unusual thing that I saw on their site. I'm like, that's crazy. So anywhere you live, as long as you're willing to just go wherever they want you to, no assigned truck or
That's
anything.
something to consider. I mean,
It's a
maybe
way
we
to get
could.
drivers from Alaska, I guess.
Yeah. We do go to Alaska. We deliver to Alaska.
Have you had a driver leave the United States and go to Alaska with a load?
We have through
Really?
Canada. Yeah, we've done that.
Wow.
Yeah.
What do you get out of there? I mean, can you get loaded out of Alaska coming back?
No, usually you would be loaded.
They
something from
they empty back?
probably. Yeah, in some cases, if it's a very high-paying load and kind of a complex, rare situation.
Wow.
It's doable. It's doable. Yeah.
That'd be sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's the detention? That was the
here, let me
question.
see. So detention pay 25 per hour. After 2 hours, it becomes maximum is $150, which is when it becomes a layover. So $25 per hour after 2 hours.
All right. And somebody's saying Kirk needs a adult diaper because he's 90 years old. So he's going to cut out the corny jokes. What's the policy on the camera? Okay, on front-facing camera, what is the camera policy here?
So we, as far as I know, we're still the only carrier that has them optional. So if a driver opts in, you get paid an extra 2 CPM for the driver-facing camera. It's optional, so you don't have to opt in, essentially. The cameras are non-live feed. They work on harsh events. So basically, if there's a harsh event, harsh braking, a harsh turn, or something like that,
Stop harshing my events, man.
it pulls up 30 seconds prior and 30 seconds after and sends it to the safety manager. There's no sound in it, but again, it's optional. So if a
Oh, so you
driver
don't know, you can't hear the screaming?
No,
Oh.
you cannot hear the screaming, the cursing.
Or
Or
the
anything
yeah,
else.
all the cursing.
Mostly the cursing. You cannot hear
The hard rock, the Iron Maiden.
None of that.
Can't hear any of this kind of thing. But you pay 2 cents if the driver opts
Yes,
in for that.
yes.
And you're getting most drivers to do it. I'd
About
say.
half the drivers now in orientation opt in.
Say, yeah, I'll take the 2 cents.
Yep.
And then later they probably think about it and go, I can get myself a raise.
And they can, if they want to cancel later, they can opt out at any time.
I would change it every day just to another.
Just to mess with us?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every morning I'd
I
call.
don't think it's going to work.
Well, you can't just change every day?
Can't just
New
change
message. Okay, no camera for the next 4.5 hours only.
I don't think
I want to per diem the day, basically.
Well, all you have to do is essentially cover the camera, and then our system notifies us that there's just.
Oh, good. So for like
we
an
would know.
hour, I'll cover
We would
the
know.
camera.
We would know.
That's pretty good.
Yes.
Look, Kelly opted in. That's one of your drivers
Yep.
here.
Yep.
So
Hey, Kelly, what's up?
watching live from the Loves. Let's see. Do you charge a lumper fee? You wouldn't charge it. You pay lumpers if they need a lumper, I assume,
Yeah,
right?
but we wouldn't charge the driver.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be unusual. I've never been
nothing.
as a driver. I've never had to pay anything for
No,
lumpers.
we would
And
not.
normally companies pay the lumper.
Correct.
It's not that much in
that's
vans
that's
as it
on
is.
us. That's on us.
It's more refrigerated, but every once in a while a van gets a
Correct.
lumper, and they're expensive.
I've
Sometimes they're a lot. I've had refrigerated people, paying $700 to get a truck. That's crazy.
Yeah. That's
And the lumper probably gets $10 a mile. Can I get 4 cents? Can I get 4 cents if I get 2 cameras?
like
If they just
from
line the
two
cameras
sides,
up and they're making $1.12 a mile.
just one camera.
Okay.
We
that's
only
a
have
pretty
one
good idea.
camera in the truck.
What's the pet policy?
Oh, pets ride for free.
There have been 2 dogs in here just since I've been here.
Yeah, there's the policy is there's no what's the word
Deposit.
There's no pet deposit. You will sign a piece of paper that says that if your dog, let's say, chews up the steering wheel or whatnot, you might be liable for that. But there's no deposit, and pets ride for free.
That's sweet.
So do humans. So riders. ride
Oh,
for free.
passenger. What is the passenger policy? How old do you have to be?
18 years old, and there's no fee for it. It's
Do they have to be related? Some places have that.
No.
So it could be just any
it can
random,
be girlfriend, best friend, whatever you want.
any 18-year-old you pick up on the street, basically.
Pretty much.
What do you do? Actually, if you're out and want to take a family member, what do you just send a message that I
You
have
send the
somebody-
message, and then we send you paperwork that says that your friend, your relative, the liability is on you or on themselves. It's
Hitchhiker.
not- Hitchhiker. As long
Yeah.
as they sign it, everything's okay.
And they're 18.
Yes.
They have to be 18.
18-year-old. Yes.
Can the hitchhiker bring a pet?
It's a good question. Probably.
Yeah, because it'd be still the same pet. thing.
Probably.
That's
Yes.
pretty awesome. Have you ever had that question before?
No.
Oh,
I
amazing.
haven't. We've never had that.
You never
question.
thought you'd get that question?
No, we
probably.
never did.
Well,
I
here it
never
is.
No.
What are the trucks governed at?
67 miles per hour on cruise and 65 on the pedal, and then you can also pass at 70 miles an hour on smart or pass smart.
That's 30 minutes a day or something, right? Is that how
Yes.
that works?
It's
Total.
It's
Something
15 minutes every 8 hours.
Oh, so 45 minutes a day.
Something
basically.
like that. Yeah.
15 minutes every 8 hours. All
And we're actually adding something. So right now we're going to be doing our 6-month reviews with drivers, which is when some drivers get a 1 CPM raise. And we're also probably, we're considering now going to be adding another 15 minutes every 6 months to qualifying drivers of passing. So every 6 months you can get another 15 minutes, and it can add up to an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours a day. So
Eventually, you stay here long enough, it's all day.
pretty much you can be in pass smart. Just
Yeah,
cruising.
I'd be in Passmart all day,
Yes.
right. So no kids. Somebody said that's not cool, no kids. Well,
No kids. It's for liability reasons, really.
some places do and some don't. Some don't let anybody come. So, I mean, that's the thing about trucking. If there's something you need to bring a 5-year-old, then this might not be the place for you to go.
Unfortunately, and we used to allow kids over the age of 10, I think. But honestly, it's the market, the industry that we're in, nuclear lawsuits and things like that. If something, God forbid, were to happen and the kid even bumps their head or something like that, a trucking company can close their doors.
Oh, I'd
from
sue you
one
immediately.
lawsuit. Yeah,
I want to bring my
exactly.
kid just to sue you.
Exactly.
I don't even have any kids.
And people might actually do that, unfortunately.
Oh, I would
So
do it immediately.
that's
I'd have the
reason.
kid hit their head right here. I wouldn't even leave.
See, that's why.
Yeah.
This is why.
It's awesome. Way better than driving. $1 million lawsuit's way easier than driving.
Yes, sir.
So it's pretty simple.
Yep.
A Dread Pirate. Dread Pirate is here. Everybody's trying to go to GP Transco. I haven't seen Dread Pirate forever. Where'd you come out of Dread Pirate Truck? You may not know who that is.
No, I don't.
It's another YouTuber. Is there a porta potty here at GP Transco? You don't need a porta potty. They have showers here
Our
and
terminal is open 24 hours, so you don't need porta potties.
Yeah.
There's showers, there's laundry 24 hours, access to
weight
all-
room.
Yeah,
I was
weight room.
shooting hoops earlier.
Yep.
There's hoops.
We
There's
recently-
going to be a video of me shooting hoops coming up.
Yes,
So
yes.
I videoed that. So
Yeah.
pretty awesome.
Slow-mo?
It was.
Slow-mo.
Oh, I could slow mo it.
Yes.
Yeah, when I broke the backboard, which I apologize for. You know, because of hanging on it. You know.
glass
Oh
everywhere.
yeah, I'm like, oh yeah. I'm glad I videoed it too, because Dread Pirate was working for 1099. That's not great, and this is not a 1099
No,
thing.
we don't offer 1099.
Yeah, this is a regular W-2.
Yes.
You're an employee here,
Correct.
like you're supposed to be with all benefits and everything. Is that a chain tire in the background? Yes,
Yeah,
it is.
It's for training, in driver orientation. We go over chaining, and if anybody wants extra training, we got it right here.
So you're on cruise at 67, you go to pass, and you don't have that extra miles per hour, right? You gotta work smart. He said, whose brainiac idea is that? Probably Freightliner. I've heard a few other companies use that. You got to really think about when you're going to use the Smart Pass, and that's a good question. I don't know how do you know how much of it you used? Is there a display or not?
I believe it's in the dash.
Oh, there is a display.
I believe so, yeah.
Okay, I've never seen it, so it'll say 8 minutes remaining.
As far as I know, I'll need to check with Brad. Actually, I'm
just
not
curious.
sure. I'm not sure.
How do you verify driving experience? I don't know.
Yeah, you apply. It's done through 10th Street. 10th Street has all
Oh, okay.
the records, and we run 10th Street as our main system. So
Yeah, Smart Trucking is saying, hey, don't blame GP Transco because they don't allow kids. It's a liability.
Yeah,
It's big enough liability just having employees, I can imagine.
It's really unfortunate with lawsuits. They almost never go the way of the.
Oh, because you're a bad trucking
It
company.
usually goes against it, so we
Right.
got to be extra careful because we have 550 drivers, we have 200 plus office staff, and they're all depending on us to provide them with jobs. So
Yeah.
if one small thing takes down the entire company, that's like 700 people that are going to be out of work. So
Right.
the bigger we get, the more careful we have to become with these decisions.
Because you're a bigger target, because
Yeah,
more money.
exactly.
Somebody looks at all his trucks and they go, oh, I'll sue that place. The Hammer.
Sure.
He's not up here, but in Indiana, the Hammer's on every billboard that he sues trucking
That's an
companies.
attorney, I assume.
He stands on top of a semi in the billboards.
Yep.
If you've been injured in a semi accident, call the Hammer.
Yep.
And that's all he does. Minutes left is displayed on the dash. Somebody's saying that. So
I
that's
think
gonna
it's the
be-
dash. Yeah. That's
Okay,
right.
so if you have to chain, you're not going to make any money. It depends where you are. I wouldn't want to chain all day, but like I've chained to get into a truck stop. So
Yeah.
get out of a situation, yeah. Chaining, maybe you make money, maybe not. If you got to sit 3 days in Wyoming and you could have chained up to go 30 miles, that might be a better option.
Yep.
It just depends.
Yep.
Dave needs some chain up training, Dave from Smart Trucking. So he's probably an expert
Come
in
in.
chaining.
All right, Canada.
You know where Dave
Come on.
from. So they have to chain, other than July, I think they have to be chained up year round up there.
Yeah, we got some
There's
guys. that
snow,
come
there's
here
already
from-
snow on the ground up there.
Guys from Colorado, like Josh, this guy Trucks. He drove with us for a while, and yeah, he was.
Who's that? I never heard of him.
Yeah, right. he knew chaining really well. 'Cause he's from Colorado, so when we got guys coming from snowy type mountainy states, they know what they're doing. If somebody's been driving in the South, they might not know it, so we got training whenever they need it, essentially. But
That's pretty good, right? Steel Horse just chains up for fun. So that's
just anywhere they go.
Yeah, just what the heck. I think I'll chain up. If trucks are set at 70 on the cruise and 73 on the pedal, we would just use the pedal to pass. Yeah, maybe someday 73, probably not. I'd like to see speed limit on trucks.
You know what,
but I don't think, like out west, 80.
If we could afford having our trucks go faster, we would. But it affects maintenance costs, it affects fuel costs, and as a result, the driver pay gets affected. So we'd rather pay
Yeah.
more and limit it there at least. for
Like the
now.
maintenance costs, I don't care. I just want the truck
Yeah,
to go faster.
Right, exactly. But
You guys
know
fix
what, though? The trucks, the newer trucks get better mileage, and the better mileage fuel consumption they get, the more we can be liberal with the speed. So
I'm
maybe
telling
it's
you,
a matter
I'm
of
getting
time.
close to 10
10?
in my Cascadia
Really?
with 20,000 or so on. Yeah,
That's really good.
yeah, it only goes 65,
That's really good.
but I mean that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's really good.
And that's not even 2,000 RPM, so
Yep.
that's pretty good. 200 employees and no spotter. Well, Bill wants to know why you don't have a spotter with all those
Sorry,
employees,
Bill.
right? Hey, Jim Trucker, happy roller Weiner Monday. Dread Pirate just disappeared off of there, right? So look, that's pretty good. What other kind of things can you tell us about GP Transco that drivers might want to know? And like, what's the phone number here? Or should they just go drive GP?
GPTransco.com.
Which the information will be in the description.
Yeah,
of course.
gptransco.com is the best place to go to learn anything about the company.
It really does have all the information.
Yeah, you can
really.
download the entire compensation.
We're actually
package
looking
and
at that
see
right now.
every
He has that on the phone.
It's on
right
my
here,
lap.
so-
Yeah, I'm reading through it, benefits and perks, other goodies, what's
Kind of a
paid.
small phone for an executive, I will say that.
I know. It's
Kind of disappointed in that. Yeah, I mean, I thought,
But it's
C-level
really,
executive.
the main thing that I think stands out, at least to me, about GP Transco is we really try to approach it from the outside. So we try to extract things that we don't like about the industry, bring in things that we like from other industries like IT or
Restaurant.
healthcare, restaurant, any customer service specific things like that. So we try to bring those things in, throw away the things we don't like, and as a result, we have a company that's sort of the best of both worlds.
Okay, somebody just said the shop people are very efficient.
Yeah,
No
the
problems at
shop
all.
is really efficient. You can talk about that to Brett Wilkie later. He has a really good system in place for it. Yeah.
So people already are defending you on here, loving
you.
the place with the shop.
Thank you.
Shop taking care of the trucks. Well, maybe they would have more to do if you went 80 miles an hour also. Maybe you could employ more shop people. Will you fix
I mean,
all
we
the trucks?
retire our trucks in 3 years, so that's another
Really?
reason. Yeah, that's another
No matter how many miles, is it a year or miles or just 3
It's
years?
about 400,000 miles,
And they're gone.
and they're gone. Replacing new trucks, yeah.
Yeah, I saw a couple Volvos. You said you might start getting some Volvos in? The
We'll-
big
we'll
Volvos?
see. Yeah, we'll see. It's not official yet, but we'll see depending on how many, if we can get enough Freightliners, as many as we needed for next year. If not, there's going to be a certain batch of potentially Volvos that we're going to be getting brand new. So, and they'll probably also be teal.
Wow.
Yes.
There's actually a teal one right back there, which it's
Yeah.
very unusual for me to see those
know.
trucks here. I don't know what they're doing here.
They're everywhere.
I turned in, I couldn't find the place because I saw a bunch of teal trucks. I'm like, well, where's GP Transco? But the road ended here.
It's behind.
The road ends at GP Transco. That's
right.
Actually. And all the way down the road, it was telling me to slow down. All the way down that road.
There's a speed sign.
Yeah.
That tells you how fast you're going.
Yeah. Well, no, it just said slow down. Apparently you go too fast, it just says
10
slow.
mile an hour drive.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, really? 10? Who goes 10 up there?
Our drivers actually do.
Okay.
Yeah. Regular cars, probably not.
Not 10.
Not 10.
It said slow down all the way up the road. Okay, he said you look like the bartender at the manhole. Summer.
I do?
Yeah, the
Thank-
bartender at
is
the
that
manhole.
good?
Yeah, that's excellent.
Is he a good-looking
He's
guy?
super handsome.
Thank you.
And with a tight rear end, by the way. That guy at the manhole.
rear end.
If you ever been down there, it's kind of dark. Can't really see it.
I haven't.
Yeah, you should show up down
I'll
there
check it
sometime.
out.
Yeah, on Saturday nights,
check it
right?
out.
The truck is spec. If the truck's spec right, it can go fast and be efficient. Eventually, you do lose fuel mileage. I mean, going 80.
Yeah, after
You would lose-
After
you wouldn't get
65,
9.
you're losing. You're losing after 65.
Well, really, you'd really rather go 45, 50. You'd probably get 12 miles.
There's a
an hour.
certain point where when it's too slow, it depends on the transmission and all of that, but there's a sweet spot, and it seems to be between 60 and 63 going on the freeway for the best efficiency, as far as I know.
Most people would get really aggravated at 60.
Yeah, I know, but at least with the Cascadias, that's where the sweet spot seems to be. So we're at 65, 67. Seems good for now. So.
Yeah, and the pass, 50 minutes of passing.
Yeah. Ever since we introduced Pass Smart or Smart Pass, I keep getting confused. Our drivers have been complaining a lot less about the speed. It's actually significant.
Yeah, because you get out there and then it's always somebody gets on the highway and they can go like 67.
Yes.
And so then you're like, I can't pass them. But then with this, you actually could pass them like, ha ha.
Correct.
That's what I would say.
You feel like a winner.
And you wouldn't know it because there's no sound on the camera.
Correct.
You'd just see, but you wouldn't know what I
somebody's
said.
opening their mouth.
Right. You'd be like, what is going on with that? Any room for owner operators, right.
We do work with owner ops, yeah.
If somebody's got a 389 Pete getting 9 miles to the gallon, that's pretty good.
Wow, that's great for a Peterbilt especially.
Even with a Fiat, you get 12 miles to the gallon with 44,000 pounds. We talked about GP Transco in my live video Saturday. Gilligan is wanting to go there, said Dread Power Trucker. Do you have someone here named Gilligan?
I'm not sure.
Is Bob Denver here?
I'm not sure.
You don't know who that is, do
I
you?
don't.
That's what I figured. Every time I say something, Bob Denver was Gilligan on Gilligan's Island. It's a TV show that you probably never even heard of because you're young.
Probably. You know, I've lived in the U.S. since I was maybe 14 years old, since 2002.
It's on TV still.
Still.
Oh, yeah.
Well, then I'm just not.
Yeah, but you're just young. You don't know Gilligan. Somebody on here, believe me.
I thought it was like a 1980s reference or something like
Oh, it's like a 1960s reference.
60s.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
but the show's still on the
that.
air.
I would not know. I wouldn't know.
The show's still on, though. You need to start paying people for their time if you want to be a model trucking company. 90,000, not bad a year.
Oh, yeah.
Still not bad.
Great.
I mean, still. The thing about getting paid for all your time, the difference in like hourly. So if drivers got hourly at $27 an hour or whatever and made 90,000. And here making 90,000 with all these different things, you still make 90,000 at the end of the
Right.
year is the thing.
It's tricky. It's hard to understand the motivation behind a driver who gets paid hourly. It's hard to keep people motivated when they know they're going to be paid hourly. It's similarly to how it can be difficult to motivate union employees
Well, I've always said that though. Drivers that get paid hourly should do their job.
all the time. But
Yeah, because if
we
they
know
don't,
that
that's
won't.
stealing.
And that's the thing, because if performance goes down as a result, then the hourly rate will actually end up going down because then we're not satisfying customers the same way we could.
Right, and drivers that's gold bricking basically
It's-
because they're
it's
going
difficult.
slow just to make themselves more money.
It's tricky, yeah.
But I mean, at the end of the day, the amount of money that you make is really the goal of it.
Yeah, I mean, our
If
drivers
you get
are
the
making
same amount
89
hourly and made the same money at the end of the year,
Yes,
but it just feels like you're getting paid for all your time on the clock.
yes. I know.
Where
I
here
know.
you're like, oh, I got to sit 2 hours for free, where somebody else that gets hourly for all that time gets paid for all that time.
Correct. We have these discussions all the time in our executive meetings. We just haven't been able to crack a better system, essentially. But for now, that's the best we can do.
There are a couple places paying hourly over the road. It'd be interesting to know if they found a reduction in
It'll be-
productivity. over
It'll
the
be
road.
interesting to see total hours versus annual pay, actually, compared to some carrier like us that's high paying, but.
Did they see a productivity go down? though?
Exactly.
Would be another interesting,
Yes.
because that costs the company money, it just doesn't cost the driver
Well, it
money.
changes how much you can charge your customers also, because you can charge your customers more if you're providing a better service, obviously.
Right.
And if hourly pay makes it worse, then it's a whole.
Smart
other
trucking,
issue.
goodness. We're hoping that you two had your hair dyed teal for today's show. Goodness, thank you very much for that. $100. That's so huge. Thank you very much.
Awesome.
We should have done that.
Yeah. My hair?
Both of us.
Yeah.
I barely have more hair than you, so I mean, I don't have like a lot of room to
Paint
talk.
my
so
head teal.
We should have.
Yeah.
That would have been a very good idea. We
alien
should have
looking.
thought of it. Why didn't we think of that?
I don't know.
Next one, we
In
will
hindsight,
do that.
yeah.
We'll do that. I will do it on the next one.
Please
Absolutely.
do. Please
I'm
really
in for
do.
and then I'll go shoot some hoops again, and all the teal will be rolling down me. Almost died. I thought I was going to die. 3 minutes of shooting hoops. The video will be out, by the
Please.
way. John says, my feet hurt when I carry my paycheck to the bank. So there you go. Fortunately, they have direct deposit. You don't
Yes.
have to carry a paycheck to the bank. So that's pretty good. Let's see. We have 110 people in here that are watching that want to come to GP Transco. Let's see. Is GP still opening another terminal? Jeff, are you going to open another terminal?
I can't fully comment on that, but
No
it's something we're seriously looking into, and once I have more info, I'll let you guys know. I'll let you know personally.
Okay, so maybe not.
It's in the best interest of everybody, especially drivers. We know that. It's
Oh, yeah.
just picking the right location for both the driver's benefit and our customers. That's the tricky kind of part.
Am I not right? Do you not have a terminal in California?
We
or-
do. It's a
Oh, okay, like a small. It's small.
It's a small office. It's essentially for after hours and some recruiting and things like that. So it's not a full blown terminal.
I think you and I should do a live show from there in the wintertime.
That sounds awesome.
I think you should
Carson City.
arrange that. Yeah.
It would be
Is
good.
that where it is?
Yeah, Carson.
All right. Yeah. Let's arrange that in sometime in January. Maybe we could do a show. I'll for sure paint myself teal to go out there. Let's see. Trucking man, GP Transco is way better than Walmart trucking. See, there you go.
Thank you.
Smart trucking next time teal. Yes, absolutely. Next time we will do teal. If I'd have thought about it, I would have done it. I didn't think
We should
about
do
it.
the beards.
I'll do it all.
The beards and everything.
Yeah, you know what? I could have GP Transco carved in my head. They do that stuff. In
Funny-
hair,
Funny you say that.
not
we're-
carved in my head. But
We're considering having a stylist barber here
Really?
twice a month, all day long, to basically give haircuts to drivers for free. So I'll make sure that they can do that for you next time you're at the headquarters.
California is beautiful, and the truck don't estimate drivers wanting to go there. Yeah, drivers love to go there because of the weather.
Yeah.
In the winter, the problem you got to go across Nevada to get there.
You just can't idle.
Correct.
Yes.
But that's all right because here we have an EPU in all the trucks.
True.
So it doesn't make any difference.
EPU, that's right.
And you can run the truck to charge that EPU up because you have that little sticker on there.
Correct.
So even in California, everybody
That's
is
true.
comfortable here.
Oh, yeah.
That's another thing, right? All the trucks, everybody's comfortable
There's
at their
EPUs, yes.
discretion.
Yes.
You don't say, oh, you can only do 10 minutes of this, right?
Yeah, trucks that don't have an EPU are allowed to idle as needed.
Right, but there's not that many left, right? And
Maybe
they're going
about
away.
50, 50,
And they're
60.
getting ready to hit
Yes,
the bricks.
Correct.
They maybe go to the new terminal that we can't talk about.
That's right.
We'll send him over there. We'll give one to Wild Bill. He doesn't need it. Any future plans to have regional runs out west? Johnny on the flip
Not
side.
at the moment. Right now, we were doing regional in the Midwest only.
Midwest
I
region.
mean, I never say never, but just not at the moment.
You never know where you go. This
Correct.
500 in some trucks turns into 5,000 trucks. It might be a different story.
Yeah. Then.
Look, not that many years ago, you had 100 trucks probably. Not that long ago.
Yeah, I started with the company 3.5 years ago. At the time, we were like 80% owner operators, 20% company drivers. Now it's completely flipped.
How many company drivers were here at that time? Do you remember?
Maybe 30.
3 years ago, you
Maybe
had 30
40,
companies,
maybe
and now you
40.
have 500 company
Now
drivers
we have about 470, 480.
in 3 years. So
Yeah.
3 more
Three
years,
and a half
we're at
years.
4,000.
The fleet size grew kind of slowly but surely, but the ratio switched very quickly.
I wonder why that is.
It's easier for us to satisfy our customers' needs better with our own assets.
Because the owner upper's like, I ain't going there, and nothing you can do about it.
If an owner up wants to go haul watermelons in Florida for 2 months, we can't stop him.
Right, just not with your trailer.
Right. Well, actually, yeah, we would give them the trailer because that's part of it. It's included. But with a company truck, we can dictate where we need, our trucks to be.
Yeah, because the driver's like, I want to go haul watermelons.
Right.
Alexandra, APU can't keep up with the heat in Death Valley. Can your APU keep up with the heat in Death Valley?
Our EPUs have kept up in some of the warmest places from talking to our drivers. As far as we know, they work well. And if they don't, they'll restart the truck to recharge it with the sticker. It's allowed, as far as I know. So
Yeah,
either
yeah,
way
with the
it
sticker
works.
you could run
Yeah,
the
so
truck.
it's going to automatically restart, recharge the battery, and then keep you cold regardless.
Now, I've only had a diesel-powered APU, and as long as you close the front curtains of the truck, it would keep up even during the day.
Yes.
But you had to have all the curtains closed.
Yes.
You couldn't let any sun in. But otherwise, the diesel one would keep up with it.
The only real downside of the EPU that I've heard is drivers that are used to the idling sort of rocking them to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And then the EPU is extremely quiet because it's electric,
Sure,
so there's
batteries.
no sound. And some drivers have told me that they can't fall asleep because it's too quiet, and they've been driving like 20 years and they can't get used to sleeping without it, the truck being on.
Oh, well, I have an app. Drivers should sign up. It's $5.99 a month, and I will just call them at night, and I go like that until they fall asleep.
I thought you were going to say you can select the different signs like Peterbilt, but you took
Oh, no,
it to the next
I
level.
literally call them,
Yes.
and I literally give them the
phone
EPU
service.
app, right? Let's see, somebody said I had no problem with the EPU on my truck. So
Right.
I think it partly depends, too. If you
Right.
want to be 55 degrees, maybe
The main thing is it's like the EPU is not used to cool down the truck from, like, if you go into a truck stop, leave the EPU on. Because if you let your car get really hot in the sun, and then you come in and turn on the EPU hoping it's going to cool it down completely, it's going to kill the battery.
right. Oh, my car's running now.
Is it?
Yeah, it says sunny out, so the car's running.
Yeah, right.
That would be cool when I leave.
With the EPU, though, you should do that because then expecting it to cool it down all the way from 100 degrees down to, 65, that's going to kill the battery quickly.
I think also in the summer you should run the air in the sleeper while you're driving. So it runs it off the truck, and that keeps the sleeper all cool. So when you park, boom, it's cool. The whole sleeper's cool too. And then you just shut the curtains and you maintain that
Yes.
coolness. and
The
it keeps it
remaining
going.
temperature, the EPU can do it for a long time.
Yeah.
But cooling it down dramatically, that's not what it's made for.
Right.
So,
Right. So that works out good. Trucker Hershey just came from Minot.
okay.
You go to Minot,
Why not?
North Dakota?
I never been. I think we
Does
go.
GP Transco?
Oh, we go.
You have
to
loads to
North Dakota.
Minot? What do you do in Minot?
I mean, we go to the
Who
Dakota.
knows, right?
We go to. I'm not sure exactly what off the top of my head, but I'm
Kind of,
sure.
what'd you get there? What was the load?
Yeah. What was the? Yeah.
We need to know. Let's see. This guy Trucks is here. Look at
Oh,
that.
what's up, Josh?
Josh is
What's
here
going
too.
on? Nice to see you.
That's that guy you said was on YouTube. He's got
Yeah.
that YouTube
He's
thing
that
going?
YouTube guy.
Yeah, I heard something about him.
guy.
I know a driver for Canada who didn't have AC in the truck. Let's see where'd that go off to. Smart Trucking. Broke down in the Southwest U.S. No assistance for 10 hours. He suffered kidney damage. Yeah, that's terrible. He should go to a motel or whatever, right away. Say what says APUs don't, let's just say that he doesn't like them very much for EPUs. Trucker T-Bone says we go to Fargo. So you guys are all over the
Yes.
upper north there. You must be great in January, February.
Yeah, it can be tough.
You need the reverse EPU then, so it can crank. How are the lease ops doing here? How many lease operators do you have here? Any?
Well, we used to have a lease program a while back, essentially. So we have some drivers that are not a lease to purchase, but just a straight up lease. That's from years ago, and we still have some guys with us, like a handful. We do have a lease to purchase program that is new, but that's only open to existing company drivers.
Oh.
So we're not bringing people from the outside into it. It's basically 3 or 6 months of a company driver, then they decide they want to do a lease to purchase. I think we have 6 or 7 of those right now.
that's it?
Only. That's it. It's
So
really
it's brand
really new, and the only reason we have it is because of our drivers were asking for it. To us, it's not any more or less profitable than a company truck, so it's purely because to give an option to drivers.
What kind of home time are they going to get in the Cleveland area?
Cleveland, I want to say that's 3 weeks out, 3 days home.
3 and 3,
Yes.
or longer, I guess, if they want to do up
If
to
they want
7
to do
weeks.
longer, yes.
7, and then you tell people, please go home for a while. Because you do need some off time, really.
I think so.
You can't just forever live at work. Take a break.
We've had drivers out for 3 or 4 months at a time.
I know, it's horrible. I did it, and I don't recommend
I
it.
can't imagine it personally, but some of our guys said that's their way of life. and
Maybe if
they're-
you're single, actually, if you're single, then I recommend it.
Maybe.
Live in the truck for a few years.
save
at
on
least.
rent, save on mortgage.
Don't
save
have
on
anything, don't have a car payment, nothing.
everything. Yep.
Just when you come home, rent a car for a week and go to a motel. We'll do that once a year and just have a cell phone payment.
Yeah.
Mint Mobile, $15 a month. Is Smart Trucking sending super chats in Canadian money? Well, they're from Canada, so yes. So Dave is in Canada. That's okay. You accept people from Canada, right?
We don't, unfortunately. We accept them,
See, I don't know anything about the police.
I mean, we accept them in high fives and stuff, but we can't hire them.
We accept them as people,
As people, yes.
but not
absolutely.
as drivers.
But not as.
So to be a driver, you need to be a United States citizen.
You need to have a green card, permanent resident, or you need to have a.
You need to be legal to work in the United States.
Yes,
Let's put it that way.
basically, that's all.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do they have to live in the United States? I guess you would to be legal to work here.
Well, as a citizen, you have to. As a green card holder, you cannot live outside of the U.S. for longer than 6 months at a time.
All right. So basically, U.S.
So
citizens.
you would be living.
You probably don't get too many people that don't live in the U.S. calling you.
We have people applying from Morocco. We have people applying
Morocco?
from all kinds of places.
Wow, that's-
yeah. They message
it's a
us
long
asking
commute.
if we can sponsor them for their green cards and visas.
Oh.
We cannot do that, but we get every week we get
Hello,
maybe
I'm from Morocco.
15 or 20 messages or calls from other countries. Yeah.
Let's see. How often can I make it home if I live in Joliet? Beautiful Joliet, Illinois.
Joliet. So if you're hired on as a OTR driver, you would be out for 2 weeks. If we have regional positions open, which we don't at the moment, but they open up periodically, you would be home every weekend. And we actually have 3 local driver openings right now which is an hourly position, and those are home every night.
Wow.
But we mostly hire from within for those. So if you're looking for that, you should apply for that sooner than later.
Like immediately?
Because those fill up really, really quick.
Now, where do those people go? Probably Chicago.
Chicago, not downtown, but the Chicago.
But they're paid on the clock, so
You're correct.
they're sitting, because they sit around. Local drivers probably should get paid on the clock, especially like that, because I can't imagine doing mileage going to Chicago.
Correct.
That'd be pretty horrible.
Yes.
Oh, wow, I made $12 today,
No.
sitting in traffic. So local drivers should all be paid on the
Yes,
clock, I think.
yes, absolutely.
And then, so.
Or
3 of
daily
them-
rate, at least.
Or
Daily
rate, yeah, so that
daily
you know
rate.
you're gonna get your money even if you
Correct,
sit around.
correct.
Because hourly or mileage on local,
That wouldn't make sense, unless it's like
it would make sense to the company.
super high.
They wouldn't have to pay you any, yeah, $4 a mile.
Right.
That would actually be a good way to advertise it, up to $4 a mile for company drivers.
And pretend like that's our general company
Yeah,
driver pay.
up to, and then just have up to in like the tiniest.
In the fine print, it
one
says
point,
local drivers, which we have 5 of. Yeah.
which you don't have any availability
Yes,
for either.
yes.
There's no way that people could get that job.
See, that's the difference between GP Transco. We don't do that.
Looks like the GP Transco is trying to do the best they can to retain drivers from Dread Pirate Trucker.
We do our best. We keep adding little, benefits here and there, like paying for air miles, so shorter runs, compensating drivers for shorter runs when we can, things like that. Yeah, our turnover rate's 32% this year.
Do you have to? Oh, that's very good. 32% is incredible in the industry. There's places at 132%. Can you imagine hiring 750 drivers a year?
I cannot. You would need 4 of me to maintain that. Yeah.
Do you need hazmat here? Somebody's asking. Do you have to have hazmat?
You don't.
Do you haul hazmat
don't.
at all?
We don't.
All right, so they don't even have to get it later.
Unless it's below a certain weight where you no longer have to have hazmat.
Yeah, but then it's not hazmat.
But then it's not hazmat, so you don't need hazmat here. We don't do tanker, we don't do hazmat, nothing like that.
So they don't have to get. Do they need doubles, triples, any of that?
No.
Just show up, regular lights, and don't need any endorsements.
CDLA.
You don't need the tanker either, then, because you don't haul those big guys.
We don't.
Sometimes you have big tanks in the vans that go in there. The weekly minimum of $12.50 is attractive, says Dread Pirate Trucker. We didn't talk about that. There's a $12.50 minimum.
We have it. It's almost never used. $12.50 is low for our drivers. It's more for like if you're broken down, it's somewhere we cannot give you a loaner truck, and and it's completely out of your control. Then you have a peace of mind that's $12.50 a week, but maybe a dozen times a year it gets used.
Yeah.
Because usually drivers are pretty much far above that. So
Yeah, oh yeah, I get their
you get their
emails.
pay stubs, right?
But every once in a while, that week you get that week where everything goes wrong that week.
It's
you
just
know you're
good
not
to
going to get a
have-
$300 check.
You're not all you have to be available to work 5 days that week. We had somebody reach out to us recently saying, "Why do you have to be available to work all week to get that?" And we're like, "Well, you have to be available, otherwise it's
Goodness.
Yeah.
Jay Yanis, thank you very much. Goodness. Home time from Texas.
4 weeks." Unfortunately, right now it's 4 weeks. But if all the cards or whatever fall in place, and we have another terminal somewhere down south, that's going to change.
But with that we can't talk about
We
yet.
can't talk about that.
So we'll delete that later
Yeah, which
in
is-
post.
Redact.
That's an industry term, post,
Correct.
right there. That's Josh knows about that
post.
stuff. All the home time policies allow to stay out 7 weeks and take 7 days off. Yes, you said that
And
earlier,
that's the
right?
maximum, 7 and 7.
100,000 a year and home on the weekends. What do you think about that?
We don't offer that right now.
That'd be pretty.
That sounds good.
Right.
That sounds good.
But 100, close to 100 is least possible if you're out.
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
Because that's how you get miles, is running 7 days instead of 5.
Yes.
What do you think about home weekends? What's like a regional driver make around here in beautiful Joliet?
A regional driver would make between 70 and 80, I would say.
And that's on weekends?
Home weekends, yes, correct. But that can depend on the market.
Now, how often do they have to unload the trailer?
I can't tell you that off the top of my head, to be honest.
You can tell me.
I can tell you. Oh, unloading? You mean assisting?
yeah, hand unload.
Oh, like maybe 10% of the time. It's not very common, and we pay for driver. It's called driver assist. It's paid for. Mm-hmm. Yes, correct.
But no assistant. The driver does it, but it's not very often. It's like
It's
a regular.
rare. It's rare.
How much is dropping hook? Half? More than that?
About a half.
All right, so that's
About half.
better.
Maybe a little less than half, to be honest. 40%.
Good afternoon, Alex. What's going on? Where in California is the terminal? Anyway, Kevin.
Carson.
Carson,
Carson,
California.
Carson,
All right, I
California.
don't know where that is, but
Yep.
okay. Let's see, that disappeared.
Carson is where Jackie Brown, the movie, was filmed.
That's awesome. I don't have any idea what you're talking about. What is Jackie Brown?
Tarantino movie. You never seen it?
No.
Oh, it was filmed in Carson.
Is Bob Denver in it from Gilligan's Island?
I don't believe so.
Okay. I believe a fair pay scale, if you're going to pay by the miles, include all time at an hourly rate. That includes waiting time at the dock. That's what a driver says. So you're doing the 2 hours and then waiting time
Correct.
at the dock, which is
25
common.
minutes, yes.
And I do think the drivers should be paid for their time.
Yes.
It's always the 90,000 at the end of the year. You have to look and say, was I paid for my time? Really?
Right.
What? Even though I didn't get this 2 hours of pay, what did I make?
Right.
What I make? So I've got a $2,000 check, which many of your drivers send me, gross, 2,000 gross. So was I paid, even though, okay, I waited 2 hours here, I didn't
Yes.
get paid for it. You know, it's that kind of, it's tough. say, all right, well, then drivers should just get 26,000 an hour plus overtime for all their time.
But
No mileage,
But then
nothing.
the motivation comes in place.
Then you don't
and
have,
it's
then you're
tricky.
not motivated.
It's tricky.
And if people get paid for all their time at the dock, I know a couple drivers personally that tell the dock people to let them sit there.
See,
Because they're getting paid for doing
and
nothing.
from the office, that's really difficult to see if that's happening. It's
There's no
almost
way to
impossible.
know. They just say, well, I sat 7 hours.
Right, exactly. And what are you going to say?
Right.
Regarding loading assist, that's $50 extra per occurrence.
Okay, so if they got to throw some boxes or whatever.
Yes, it's
$50
$50 every
extra
time.
50 gets thrown out there. I love it.
And extra stops is $35 per stop.
Beyond the first stop or
Yes,
all stops?
Beyond the first stop. So
How many of them have stops? You do a lot of stops.
it happens sometimes. You might have 2 or 3 stops.
Ugh.
You know, it's not.
Cash is
that-
King Trucking would
it's-
love that.
It's not super frequent, but it happens, and you pay for it, and it really adds up.
I hate stops.
Yeah.
The Cash is King Trucking loves stops.
Yeah,
You
they pay
can get-
good. I mean, that's
They do. I don't care. I don't like them.
Yeah.
I want all dropping hooks.
Yes.
No stops ever.
Yes.
My brother passed away. Does GP Transco offer bereavement pay? I'm sorry about hear about that. What about bereavement pay?
We do. I don't remember off the top of my head exactly what it is. But we don't get asked that very frequently.
Which is good.
I'll need to ask our HR VP and find out. We offer pay and time off. Yeah.
Time off with pay. So basically keep your check going. That's good. That's good that you don't get asked it much because that means people are not dying that much. So that's not something that we want to do. Let's see who we got going on here. 118 people ready to come here. Trucking with Cooper, you should getting your own 2022, Mark. I should. What do you think? Can I get a 2022 starting out here?
Cascadia?
Sure. I love Cascadias.
If you started out, you would get a 2022.
Sweet.
Half of our drivers coming in this year are getting a brand new truck.
Oh, I love it.
So it's not super uncommon.
I
to be
love
honest.
getting a new truck
Yeah,
because
yeah.
they're quiet and they're all
Yep.
new and everything. I love peeling the plastic off of the
It's
seats.
nice.
and
We do that for you ahead of time.
Oh, leave
Maybe-
it on the
maybe
passenger
we should
seat.
leave it. That's probably
Leave the
a good
passenger
idea.
seat on
'Cause
there,
it is
really.
fun to peel that thing off.
Yeah, and I would leave the passenger seat on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love leaving it on there, right? Because it keeps the seat all nice and see, the truck's still new or whatever.
Are you the
Yeah.
guy that keeps the remote control at home inside a Ziploc bag?
It's still in the bag, yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Will they bail you out of, will GP Transco bail you out of jail if you stomp a driver for holding up the fuel on, for taking their 30-minute break in the fuel on?
No.
Is there no bail? I'm looking on the thing.
There is no bail. There is
They
no
don't have a bail policy.
No bail policy.
Do I get bereavement pay for the money I spent on a new house? I'm in mourning. Probably not.
Is that T-Bone?
Let's
That was
see.
T-Bone, yeah.
Yes, it is.
Sorry, congrats on the new house. It looks awesome. But no.
I've never seen a bad GP Transco truck on the road. Dread Pirate Trucker, always nice new trucks. Yeah, because 3 years they're gone.
Tell that to Brett when he's here with you guys, when you're talking to him, when he replaces me. He's a maintenance VP. Let him know. He'll be glad to hear that. We replace him frequently. Our maintenance shop, they're really experienced, efficient guys here. So it's really, we're really proud of the maintenance shop.
Yeah, and you keep new trucks so they don't keep breaking down on the road.
Right.
I mean, you don't want to be running an 8-year-old truck around and then the
Right.
driver gets all this breakdown pay because they're forever broke down.
Right.
And then they get mad.
And customers are not happy.
Right, because they're low. Our load is late, sorry.
Yep.
Our 2011 FLD didn't make it to your
Yep.
stop in time.
Nobody wants that call.
And then the drivers quit.
Yes.
Because they're sick of driving an old truck around.
Correct.
Nobody likes that.
Nobody.
Especially you, the mechanics, nobody. And I don't think they'll let you bring that truck into it.
Well, I guess mechanics would have more hours.
Oh, yeah, that's true. They'll love it. They can't get
they
parts,
like
so
it.
they got to wait for parts.
Exactly.
How are you? How close are you to Florida? It's Mr. Plow. Can you get people to Florida?
We can, but it's 4 weeks. It's 4 weeks, unfortunately. If you
4
want,
weeks.
so if you really want to run, you would be out for 4 weeks, home for 4 days or 5 days. But we don't have too many drivers in Florida.
Yeah. John says that he needs a mortgage just to buy beef at the supermarket.
Oh yeah.
Are you having problems getting electronic parts? For the trucks?
Some things we order in advance a lot. We did a pretty good job kind of trying to foresee what to expect a year and a half or a year ago, so we ordered a lot of things in advance. Freightliner and those kind of companies, they are having harder time building trucks specifically due to small parts that are
Yeah, $3
shortage.
chips. It's crazy.
It's
Some of
it
them
is-
are really cheap.
It is crazy, but it's more about just the supply. There's just not enough of these things. Yep.
New ones break down too. The emissions break down. Yeah, exactly. Some do and then some don't. We have some that are horrible. Been thinking of changing a career to trucking, going to go to Prime and then get to GP Transco. Yeah, what is the experience policy? How much experience do
You need 1 year.
So you need. So they should go to
Minimum.
Prime or wherever for a year and then give you a call.
Yep. Oh, the average experience of our drivers is a little over 10 years right now.
Oh,
so
nice.
we're selective. So that means if we have, 60 drivers that applied, out of those, 20 of them pass safety. We're going to be looking at the experience. So it doesn't guarantee that you get a job if you have 1 year, but that's the bare minimum that we require. So,
Oh, so you like got to compete with other drivers. That's pretty good.
Yeah, you have to.
And I saw in there was two drivers that were in there. They were competing to the death.
Yeah.
I thought that was because you only had one truck available, and you said, "Look, whichever one of you comes out of this room." That's what you said when I got here. The one that comes out of this room gets the truck.
That's another thing that differentiates GP Transco.
It's different. I've never seen a place do that. So it was
gladiator style.
It was pretty awesome, really, watching that in there. And it's a glass room.
I know.
So everybody could watch.
Yeah, you can place bets.
I did. I have $20 on the small guy. He looked pretty scrappy.
Yeah. You know what he's doing. He's from Kentucky.
Right. He looked pretty tough, right. And if not, his sister was going to jump in there to help.
Yeah.
She had a wedding ring on, but that's another story from Kentucky, I guess. Is that an orange? Let's see, where do they go up to? Yeah, passenger policy. We went over a passenger. So you need to be 18.
18 years old.
But don't have to be related.
You don't have to be related.
Some companies do that. That's
Yeah,
why I say
we
that.
don't. No, you don't
So
have
it
to
can
be
be any random Yahoo that's 18.
Well, now that you say that, I think our drivers are just going to start picking up hitchhikers.
Who says they haven't already,
I
right?
don't know.
We don't know.
I haven't really thought about it, to be honest.
Yeah, well, sure. You got to think about that. I'm like, hey, come on in.
Our
We got a
safety, our
passenger
safety
policy.
team thinks about it. I'm sure they know.
Well, but still, it could be, since there's no policy, they could just pick up a random.
It's true.
And dogs, same thing. No problem with dogs.
Stray dogs.
You could just pick up a random dog.
Yeah, that's okay.
It has to be 18. Is there a weight limit on dogs?
No, not right now.
Because the two dogs I saw were small. That one guy had a tiny dog, and the other one was like an Australian Shepherd.
Well, you know what? It's one of those things that's once you know it's too much. Once you see it, we had somebody try to come on board a team with 7 Pomeranians.
Wow, they're tiny though.
They're
The
tiny,
total,
but
they
they're
only
running
weighed
around
19
But they're
pounds.
running around the truck like crazy, so we had to say no. But usually it's not an issue.
So do you limit it to one animal since then?
No, we've had 2 dogs before. It's fine.
And one way to do that would be to say one at a time.
Yeah.
I mean, a driver must understand that. It would be unusual for a company to allow them to take 7 dogs
Yes.
in a company truck.
Yes.
That's very
Yes.
strange.
Well, that person actually agreed to offload 2 of the dogs to her parents or his parents. I can't
Oh, are
remember.
you going to stay out the window?
And then they drove with the 5 dogs, but they had the driver-facing camera uncovered, right? Because they were opted in. And then there was a harsh event, and then the footage came in, and then we saw 7 dogs again. So
Busted.
yes,
No, and I don't agree with that, right? If you make a deal,
Yes.
you should honor your word.
yes.
So no matter what it is, if you accept that, and then when I'm going to get rid, I'm going to kill these 2 dogs like you guys requested, and they got to throw them out the window, that's what they agreed to.
You say things like this are going to be taken out of context, republished by 17 other YouTubers.
I don't allow people to sample my content on there.
good.
So if you saw that on there, I don't allow. I always have that box. So I don't check that box.
That's good.
So people can't sample the
Good. I'm
content.
glad.
Yeah. Do you ever think about running kids here, or just because of liability, it's just not going to be kids as passengers?
Oh, you mean as passenger?
Yeah, because some people do want to take their
We
kid
really
for the
can't.
summer. You know, the guy say, "Oh, I'll take my kid this summer."
I know the good sides. I mean, it's awesome, but we can't do it for liability reasons. We really can't.
It's just not going to happen.
Nuclear lawsuits. Everybody is lawsuit hungry for trucking companies, and it's not worth the risk, honestly.
You're saying that driver would have to be the one suing you,
Yeah,
presumably, or
it's possible. Yeah, and it's
do you think that might happen? I don't think drivers would. Do
anything's possible? You know,
that. I don't think drivers would do that. Yeah.
when a lawyer comes to you and tempts you with all
The
kinds
hammer.
of promises and money, the hammer from where?
Indiana.
It's hard to say no.
If you ever drive down 65, I mean, every other billboard is the hammer. And he
you go.
stands on the semi in the billboard.
Yeah, it's safe.
If this truck, any truck has ever injured or done anything to you or just scared you by driving by you,
Yeah,
call him.
yeah. The bigger we get, the more we worry about these things, and it's just how it is.
I can't imagine when you get to 10,000 trucks, there'll be, you won't, even the driver
I
won't
don't
be
know
allowed
if
in
we
the
would
truck.
ever get to that size.
Well, you know what? Why not?
I don't know. It's a tricky thing. It's a tricky animal to run. It's a.
I can't imagine.
Our CEO and I were talking about it recently, and we're talking about how we want to maintain the company a place that we ourselves want to go to work to, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And when you get to that size, it's hard to imagine it staying that way. So we're trying to keep it a balance of don't get too big to the point where it's so impersonal that it's just its own animal.
Yeah, you
wanna
get
keep
too
it-
corporate.
Yeah, we try to balance it, so.
Yeah, you turn into a gigantic corporation
Right.
where everything is corporate.
Right.
You can't do anything because there's 12 policies and how things have to be done. And it's not a great place to work.
That's why slow growth is.
You're walking into a
Can be
corporation.
beneficial. It can be beneficial to grow.
Slow, but you have grown
Slow but steady.
quite big
Slow but
and
steady.
quite quickly.
Well, we've been around for 16 years, though. So.
Really?
Yeah, considering we've
I
been around
didn't
for
know that.
16 years, it's been pretty steady.
Really?
Yeah.
Was it all owner operators?
In the beginning, in 2006, yes, it was all owner operators.
So it was founded in 2006?
Yes,
In Illinois?
in Illinois, we've always been in Illinois. Yeah,
When was the first company driver hired?
I want to say probably 6-7 years after the founding of the company.
Is that person still here, by the way?
You know
That'd
what?
be awesome,
We
so.
have a few drivers, and
And here he is. Come on in.
yeah, right. I mean, we lovingly call them the old wolves. We have a few of the owner ops that were
My
with
wife
us
calls me that sometimes.
Old wolf, nice.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, like 4 or 5 of the ones that were with us from the start are still here. So
Wow.
yeah, they're like driver. I don't. You can see by their driver number. It's really short.
Oh,
so.
it's like a DOT number.
The unit number for the
Yeah,
owner
but
op,
like on trucking companies, that's how I tell how long they've been open. I look at their DOT number.
Oh, that's right.
They're
That's right.
sequential.
Yes.
They're up to like almost 4 million or whatever. What is the DOT number? Any idea?
Not off the top of my head, but
Oh.
we've always had just one, which is more than a lot of Chicago trucking companies.
Well, the
these days.
Chicago trucking companies have to keep closing
Yes.
and opening new companies.
Right. We've only been under one DOT number
Yeah.
the whole time. Yeah.
Because this is
Been
not
good.
a Chicago 1099 company, which
Yeah,
you probably
fi-
get that question too a lot.
Yeah,
so.
fighting against that image. That's probably been the biggest challenge over the past like 3 or 4 years is fighting against the challenge of people assuming that we're a 1099 carrier,
There's so many here.
assuming that we don't provide load confirmation to owner ops, assuming all these things, and then
Well, because a lot of them have been hosed by companies in
yeah,
Chicago.
a lot of people get kind of used and abused, and then they don't trust any other trucking company.
And then they leave trucking.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you start at some of these horrible places.
Yep. Yep.
And then they never make it to you.
Yep.
They don't make that first year.
yes. Yes.
You know, so even if you're at a bad place and you're getting your audit truck school, stick the year out.
Yeah.
Because after that, I mean, the whole teal world is open to
The
you.
teal world is open to
The
you.
teal world.
So just wait out a year. Just be safe for a
Somewhere.
year, and then,
Yeah, just be safe for 1 year and you got it made. You don't even need endorsements or anything.
That's right. Yeah.
can do-
Well, thank you for having me, Mark.
Oh, all right.
I'm gonna get back and I'm gonna grab Brett actually.
Oh,
He's gonna
sure.
come by soon. So you guys, if you have any technical maintenance truck specific questions, Brett Wilkie is your guy. He can answer pretty much anything about trucks, fuel, engines, DEF, regulations, and anything else.
Yeah,
like that.
we'll hang out here and wait
Okay,
for
well,
him.
thank you. It's awesome to be on this show.
well, thank
I've been
you for
watching it live
being
in
on
chat
here.
for 3.5 years, so I'm
I
actually on
appreciate
the
it.
other side for the first time. So thanks a lot, and I'll talk to you after the show.
Okay, I'll be here. Thanks.
Bye, guys.
That was Sergey from GP Transco. We're just going to hang out here while the next person comes on. I'm up here at GP Transco in Joliet, Illinois, checking the place out. That truck that was in here took off, so they fixed the truck. He actually said, you can go here and have this truck in the background, and then they end up fixing it. So that's not really great. What else is happening on Weiner Monday? Somebody came on the radio and said, hey, New York State is requiring a vaccine to get a driver's license. I just wanted to put out there, that's not true, okay? That is not true. I looked into it already in case you've heard that on the radio. Not true. The governor hasn't said anything about that. So don't get all about, oh, New York State is requiring this. That did not happen. I want to tell you about this couch. This is really funny. This couch that I'm sitting on here, this teal colored couch, right here, right? They actually had another couch. This was the story I said I was going to tell on here that was not manufactured in a way that drivers would hold up drivers, let's put it that way, and collapsed. This couch has a 1,600 pound weight rating on it. That's pretty amazing. 1,600 pounds on a single couch. And I looked underneath it. It is all reinforced and stuff. This would hold up like a small Yugo or whatever. It absolutely would hold all that stuff up. So if you come and sit here, you are going to be on a couch that is going to hold you up, just like your paycheck. I'm telling him about the couch. I said I was going to tell him about the couch. It's just amazing that I felt underneath and stuff. It's got a lot of supports and stuff underneath this couch. It is very well made.
1,800 pounds.
This thing will be here. Oh, 18. I thought it was 1,600. Oh, yeah, come on in. Hey, go ahead and introduce yourself since we don't know each other. So,
All right. Sounds good. Well, first, thanks for having me. My name's Brett Wilkie. I'm the VP of Maintenance here at GP Transco.
oh, all right.
Yeah.
VP of Maintenance.
Yes, sir.
So what is a good maintenance thing? What is your one tip for today to give the 127 people watching GP Transco?
Good quality PMs. Do all your preventative maintenance when you're supposed to. It's going to save you a lot of money down the line.
How often do you do services on the truck?
It depends on OEM guidelines, but we follow the OEM guidelines very, very strictly.
Oh, my place, I just had one done at about 105,000.
Okay.
What do you think about that? Pretty awesome?
That's, kilometers, right?
No.
Miles?
Oh, yeah, I'm from the United States.
105
Yeah, and
miles.
Freedom units, right.
That's a lot of miles.
Well,
Very
they go,
good.
it saves money to do
Yeah.
them longer intervals.
Yeah, we do A services and B services, so it depends. Volvo is a little bit lower than some of the PACCAR and Detroit products, but on the Detroit side, we can run them out to about 75,000 on oil changes, and then we do an A service in between. So we'll bring it in, do an inspection, grease it, that type of thing.
That's pretty nice. Just getting it greased would be something. Does anybody have any questions for maintenance? That's not a question. That's not something that we get that much, where we get to
Sure.
talk to a maintenance person. They had a truck behind me here, and you pulled it out. There was
see
that
if we
truck.
can get
That truck
another
was
one.
in there, and he put me here. He goes, "Oh, you have that truck," and then you guys finished it. What was going on with that truck anyway?
It's good to get them finished.
Oh, that Volvo. What did you do to that truck that was sitting there by the way?
I'm not sure what was going on with the Volvo. There was a teal Freightliner here that had some warranty work, so we actually have a warranty technician from our local dealership come out and help us with some warranty jobs.
Oh, so they'll come to you. I guess you buy enough trucks, they come and do that stuff to you.
That's right.
They don't do that with your car. You got to take it to them.
Yeah, it's a nice perk.
Maybe if I bought 100 cars, they might come to me.
I think they would.
That's pretty awesome. Let's see where am I at here? Let's see where this went off to here. So my screen. Let's see where am I at here? Oh goodness, Alexander, if you ever get a tanker fleet, let you know. Thank you very much for that. I will. We will let you know that. Let's see. Even New York still had a governor. They do, right? Let's see. Let's see here. Oh no, that's not my team driver. Finally, someone says Illinois without pronouncing the S. Yeah, Illinois. We're in Illinois. For people that don't know that. So let's see where they go off to. No insulting, right? No insulting here. Do you use only new DPF filters or do you bake them?
We use new.
All right, so new filters. I don't exactly know what that means. So
Yeah,
I'm picturing an oven with a filter in it.
sure. I'm assuming that when they're talking about DPF filters, they're strictly talking about DPF, not DOC. But on the
Yeah, DPF,
side,
not DOC. Roger that.
Yeah,
No idea what he's talking about.
our life cycles don't really determine, or we very rarely have issues with DPFs.
Really?
So we don't really have to experience that. But if we do, it's either under warranty or just out of warranty. And if it's out of warranty, we'll just buy new.
Then it's good for 500,000 or whatever, however long they last.
Yep.
I guess before it clogs itself up again.
The last time we had a DPF issue outside of warranty has been many months ago. So we have very few issues right now.
Sometimes we'll get trucks in that's all they have is that kind of DPF problem, and then some runs fine without any.
Yeah, we
It's a
have.
weird thing. I don't know.
We have more EGR cooler issues than we do DPF problems.
Oh, because of the Max Force engines that you use here, right? On the
yeah.
internationals?
Oh, don't get me started on
How many
that.
Max Forces do you have left? Oh, okay. Too bad. I get a lot of questions. Hey, Mark, I'd come there, but I want to drive a Max Force. So,
I'm sure that's on very high demand.
yeah, it is. I get a lot of those. Are you getting some in anytime soon? Or?
No.
Oh, that's really something. I'm disappointed at that. How many weeks out in Greensboro? Well, you probably don't know that. So we'll have to get back to Sergey with the weeks out, unless you do know.
I don't.
Okay, we're on maintenance here. We will get back to you on that, though. Worked for GP for 6 months and then went to Schuster. Say Schuster was better company, but GP wasn't a bad company. All right, well,
Sorry.
every company doesn't fit everybody, I think.
Absolutely. I know
I mean,
some
it's
people
not a
at
fit.
Schuster. Everybody I know from Schuster are very nice people.
Yeah, I think you should look into a company. It's probably GP Transco's not for everybody, just like every trucking company.
Sure. Absolutely right.
Where you go.
Different
Not,
brand of
Schuster's
shoes
not
you
for
got.
everybody.
Right.
Yeah, so it just depends. It just depends on what you want. Make sure it fits you, and then I think you'll do better there. Let's see here. Are the trucks governed? Oh, that's a question.
They are. Yep. 65 on the pedal, 67 on cruise. All of our Freightliners have PassSmart systems, which allows an extra 3 miles an hour for 15 minutes every 8 hours.
What about Volvo? They don't get that program?
They don't have that kind of infrastructure in their ECM, so we can't program PassSmart. It's simply not available.
Do you have a college degree?
I have lots of certifications.
That's what I figured. You're using very large words for a truck driver.
So once,
I'm thinking of them. I'm gonna look them all up later. Just so you know, I'm gonna Wikipedia all the words up. So,
very good. Very good.
but yeah, so you can't do it. So if you get a Volvo, you're not gonna get PassSmart.
That's correct. Volvo offers a slightly different program, as does PACCAR. It's called Driver Rewards. Essentially, for each one of them, it's pretty much the same thing, but it uses different parameters such as idle time and other fuel-saving mechanisms to potentially give extra speed for a determined amount of time. For us, we've not really found it to be super accurate or reliable, so we find PassSmart's a little bit better. It's
What engine's in the Volvo?
D13,
Oh, all right. What's engine's in the Freightliners?
DD15,
Kenworths?
MX13.
Oh, so you have a whole variety here.
Yep.
So the Kenworths don't get PassSmart either then.
Correct.
So if you want a PassSmart, Freightliner's the way to go.
And they're the only manufacturer that offers it.
But you don't get a choice of truck here. You get what possibly is available, at least when you show up.
Correct. Yeah, we will ask your preference, and we'll do everything we can to accommodate that. And if you want a Freightliner and all we have is a Volvo, and you make that known when we get another Freightliner, and we'll be happy to switch it.
Okay, but you might not get one to start out. You don't get, if there's a Volvo, either take it or sit around maybe for 3 weeks
Yeah.
until they get the right truck.
If there's a Volvo or a Freightliner, obviously we'll put you in whatever truck you want. But you're exactly right. If all we have is a Volvo and you really want a Freightliner, as soon as we get the next one, it could be a week, could be a month, we'll be happy to switch you.
See, now it's a hard choice because I want PassSmart, but I like Volvos. I'd rather have a Volvo.
Is any specific reason?
I think they ride better. I always
Okay.
thought they rode better, and I think they're set up better for drivers inside.
Okay.
think Freightliner's cheaper. I like my Cascadia, but I don't think they took a lot of time to design it, where Volvo seemed like they really put a lot of thought into where all the switches and buttons go.
Sure.
The ones you use more are closer to you.
Yeah.
Freightliner's like, just threw them in a truck, and wherever they stuck, that's where they installed them.
Sure. I think the digital dash, I think, does help with the 22 mile
That's
a year
true,
trucks.
though. It has a digital dash.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
I know, I've seen videos of them. They look pretty awesome. So I want that too. So I want all that in the Volvo. So you need to get a Volvo with the Detroit in it, with the digital Freightliner dash.
I could talk to some techs, see what we can do.
See what you can you order a Detroit in a Volvo?
You cannot.
Oh, so what are your choices? Volvo, is that it, or?
Yeah,
Cummins.
yeah. Right now, it's
No
just
Cummins
Volvo.
even?
I don't think you can get a Cummins in a Volvo anymore.
Wow. Rolling Stone says you can't get you what you want. Somebody says they want an auto car. John wants an auto car. Do you have any of those around?
We don't. They're pretty cool, though. I think there's some military contracts that they're looking to fulfill right now. Auto car.
All right. Are you going to be getting any of those anytime soon?
No. No.
Do you have anything to do with the ordering of the truck?
Yes.
Oh, so you could order one and choose not to. So basically, it's you that doesn't give the auto cars.
Yeah, I'm the gatekeeper.
Okay,
I
that's
guess.
awesome. That's pretty good. It's required to have a razor-shaved head to work to be employed at GP Transco. That's pretty funny.
So it's just I basically.
I almost fit in for that.
I
so.
say it's gravity. So the hair that was here just slowly works its way onto my face. It's not, yeah, it's just gravity doing its
I
thing.
never noticed that, so that's pretty funny, right? I almost fit in.
We joke about it all the time here.
Oh, really? Is everybody? I didn't notice walking around. I should go look around again.
Yeah, see how many reflections.
Is
you
it
get?
almost
It's pretty
everybody?
shiny in this light, actually. Now that I see that.
Let's see. The new General T680 would look good in teal. Yeah, the Kenworth's coming in teal that you're getting.
We have four
Oh.
T680s in teal that we've been running a trial with. They've actually done pretty well.
Do you run to New York City? Do you know that? I assume they do.
From my knowledge on the operations side, you can opt out. We
You
do
can opt out of a
occasionally there.
part of the country, the way I understand it. You can
Yep.
tell them in advance, I don't want to go here or there or whatever, and
Correct.
they try to accommodate that.
Yep.
And if they agree to it, then they don't send you over.
Correct. Yep.
But from talking to Sergey over the years, that they can't have everybody opt out of New York City.
Right.
Because if they need a load to go somewhere, everybody can't opt out of a certain place.
Sure.
So it just depends how many have opted out.
Yeah, we still have to service the customer. Yep.
Alexander, I don't need my hair to, let's see, I don't need all my hair to go to my face. Had no idea that's how hair loss works. Yes, it is. It happened to my grandmother, and she had a beautiful handlebar mustache. So, terminals in Pennsylvania. You don't have any terminals in Pennsylvania.
We do not.
Beautiful Joliet, Illinois, though.
Yes, sir.
I zigzagged my way in here because of the gunshots I heard getting off the interstate down by the pilot there. And that pilot is one of the smallest pilots I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Because I came in that way. I came in the back way.
Okay, off of 55.
Yeah, and then I went down through the woods rather than coming across 80 and 94.
Okay.
Because I'm coming from Lafayette, Indiana, so I crossed over.
Oh, I worked in Lafayette.
Oh, well, you should come back down there.
Yeah, I liked it actually.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yep.
Be a long commute up here every day. I mean, it took a couple of hours to get here.
I actually commuted to Lafayette
From
where
here?
I live now. Yeah,
Wow,
yeah.
that's a dedicated person. Are you ever going to do heavy haul here?
Depending on what you're talking. If you're talking 100,000 plus or 80 plus, then unlikely. I'll never say never.
It's all vans though right now, right?
Yeah,
all drive
we're
vans.
all 100% drive van.
Yeah.
53-foot drive van. Yep.
Any word on when the Teslas will arrive?
I wish I could answer that. I'd love to know.
You can go ahead and answer.
Yeah, that'd be great. I just actually saw, I didn't read the entire article, but I started to read it. Elon Musk said that it doesn't look like 21 would even be a good year to reasonably look at producing a Tesla truck. So
What is this guy's problem?
moving headquarters, he's probably got a lot going on. Maybe
We got
space.
trucks to do here.
I agree.
He's worried about going to space. We're trying to just get a load down of ping pong balls on the road here.
I'd really like to know what they weigh, to be honest with you.
He
That's
said
my
they're going to
biggest
be
thing.
comparable to a semi.
I'm very excited to see that. I think
There's no engine,
Yep.
for the battery. So he said it should be the same or comparable is what he said. But you know how that goes.
Yeah, I wonder if some of that comparable talk is
In metric,
or,
it's 80,000 kilograms.
or with exemptions and things like that.
Yeah.
So-
So it might be in metric. We don't know because he's from South Africa, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, he's not
South
He's not American originally.
Correct.
So there they would use a metric system. So it's 80,000 kilograms. So he's like, yeah, it weighs 80,000. He didn't. Somebody forgot to convert it.
Yeah,
for him.
yeah.
So that's a possibility.
Very good.
With Elon Musk, you never know about that guy. Do you hire from all 48 states? Do you know that? I'm not sure.
We do.
So they're going all the way to Miami and all the way to Florida now?
Yep.
Because they didn't last I heard.
There are some different things I believe with Florida timeout and stuff like that, but I'm pretty sure we will hire from all 48. Yep.
Somebody said I heard those Tesla rigs really get up and move.
Yeah, some of the I've watched some of the videos, and it seems to be extremely impressive. Just with all their products, all the Tesla stuff is.
I know there's one out here in the parking
unbelievably
lot.
fast. Yeah.
There's a Model X out in the parking lot, so I saw it
They're
sitting
cool.
out there. Yeah, except I want to race that person to St. Louis from here and back. You know why? It takes me 2 minutes to put 450 miles of range in my Ford Escape.
Yep.
So we'll go down there and back and see who gets back here first in their Model X.
Yep.
So, do you have any loads that go to Alaska?
I've not seen any since I've been here.
That would be amazingly a lot of miles.
That would be a pretty darn cool run too. Yeah,
It'd be hard to get a load back, I would think.
I would imagine.
I mean, not a lot of loads go by truck from Alaska this way. I mean, what do they produce? Salmon,
Yeah, well,
maybe. There could actually be. Well, you'd have a problem bringing the fish back.
yeah,
At least you could only do it in the wintertime.
we'd have to get on a barge.
Let's see. I heard the Teslas really go. Yeah, a barge, right? Well, I'm saying you don't have refrigerated, so. Do you get a test for English or Spanish? I don't know if anybody speaks Spanish here. You're gonna have to speak English to work here because that's the law. So.
Correct.
Drive a semi, you're gonna need to speak English no matter any company you go to.
Yeah, we have lots of people here that are bilingual, but it's not necessarily for this reason.
Yeah, well, that's just in the country there.
Absolutely.
My wife speaks Polish, some Polish, so.
Oh, very cool.
Because her grandmother and all that were from there, and so she learned that growing up. But
Awesome.
not to me, other than Glumpke or something like that, which is a food product. Apparently, that makes the house smell bad. I guess that's what that means. Do you test? Let's see. My drivers are paid weekly. Al John's right. I'm waiting for this Tesla, by the way. When are we going to actually? Have they ever given you a date?
No.
Have they given you a date and then moved it out, or
I
or
don't
just
think
don't
there's ever
nothing?
been a
Just
date.
they're just like eventually you're going to get one because I know you guys are going to get one.
Yeah.
What are you going to charge it? Are you going to build a charging thing here?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
It's just going to go in the back and have its own charger. That's because it needs like a 440 charger.
Yep.
It needs super high speed charger.
Yeah, and we have that voltage here. So the wash bay that we've constructed is 440 volts.
That's right. You're going to have a wash bay soon where drivers can just come in and wash the trucks whenever they want to. Is that correct?
Yep.
It's a drive through.
It actually gets in serviced next week.
Nice. Now, will it wash the trailer too?
Yes.
So you can pull your truck and trailer company truck anytime, or an operator, I guess, right? Let them go through there too.
Yep. For the first little period of time there, we'll have a wash bay attendant that's out there, and we'll ask people to only use the wash bay while the wash attendant's there. Everybody kind of gets familiarized with it. We can make sure everything's working right. Last thing we want to do is have brushes tearing up paint, that type of stuff, or decals on trailers. But yeah, it's going to be fully operational here within the next week and a half, 2 weeks.
Now, driver said I only drive manual transmission trucks. What do you think about that? Do you have any manual transmission trucks to get out?
We don't have any company-owned assets that are manual
Oh,
transmissions.
nice. Company-owned assets. Now, that sounds like something a corporate person said in a meeting. I will tell you that. I bet that was said in a meeting. Oh, let's go over our assets, our assets now in this meeting. Right.
Sure.
So that's pretty good.
We don't have, GP doesn't have any trucks with manual
Yeah,
transmissions.
company. We have no company-owned assets with manual transmissions. That is from a corporate meeting. So now you immediately need to make the company smaller because that is way too corporate of a thing for drivers. You're not going to get any more either, right?
No, we have no intention to.
Will you hire someone then that has the restriction, the automatic restriction?
Sure.
Okay, well, some companies don't, so.
Yeah, I
I
don't
assume
think
you
that
would
would be an
because
issue.
they don't need the manual thing here.
Right, as long as they have the minimum qualifications, that's all we're after.
Yeah, so you would never need to really get the restriction removed.
Right, it's
working
not
here.
like you'd be recovering a truck with a manual transmission.
'Cause
or
there
anything
isn't
along
one.
those lines, right? Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's very common, and people want manuals, and so do I, but
Yep.
once you drive the automatics, I mean, we had a lot of people gripe about them and then drove them and they're like, oh, wait, this isn't so bad after
Yeah,
all.
not too bad.
Yeah, because I always tell people, well, look, your car's an automatic. I don't see you buying a manual Miata driving to work, you know?
Right. Back in the day when they had auto shifts and some of those type of transmissions that were automated with the clutch still, they were kind of
Three-pedal automatics?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're horrible.
difficult. But now, I mean, the evolution's terrific. I think.
International was bad. Their automatic, there was a 10-speed in those, and the 10-speed automatic, horrible. Because you couldn't creep it backwards.
Yeah.
So you'd
yeah,
slam
back
into the
up there,
docks.
Yeah.
Just slam that thing because it was either on or off. It was like almost like an electric car.
Sure.
Where it was full power or no power.
So once upon a time, I was a field service engineer for a major trailer manufacturer in your neck of the woods.
Oh,
And we'd see quite a bit of damage from backing into the docks. They'd wonder why is the base rail crinkled? Well,
automatic truck?
oftentimes it was either an early model automatic or an auto shift type truck.
Yeah, you had no choice. I mean, it just wouldn't. it wouldn't go slow into the dock.
Yeah.
And you look like you just started driving two minutes ago.
Yeah.
And there's nothing you could do about it. You just slam into, and then it wouldn't hold itself. It would just creep forward and you'd slam it again.
Almost bounce off the
The
dock.
guy in the forklift is falling off of his forklift or whatever back there. Hey, what are you doing out there?
Yep.
Then you go, oh, I just started driving. Because then they believe that, not, oh, like it's the truck's fault, I don't like the hesitation of the auto, but once you get used to it, timing isn't too bad. Once you get one and drive it for a while, they're
Yeah.
way better than they were. Even you
yeah.
guys must see that.
They've come a
They last a long
way.
time too now, right? You don't
They
have to
do.
really do anything to them.
Right. Yeah, we have.
Is there
very
fluid in them?
few.
I'm almost curious. Is it like a car automatic? Is there any fluid in it at
Yeah.
all?
It's
Does
essentially
it have to
a
get
manual.
changed? Do you have to change the fluid?
You do. Our life cycle doesn't determine that we have to, so it's very rare if we ever have to do a fluid
Well,
flush.
some cars say no. Like
Yeah.
I have a Chevy Sonic. GM says you never need to change the fluid.
Unserviceable.
It's unserviceable, and it says you don't ever need to service it.
Yeah.
There's no, you can't even check it. It says a light will come on if it's low.
Yeah. These.
Presumably
these trucks,
that's empty.
these trucks are AMTs, so they're essentially an electronically controlled manual transmission.
I had a Pacer once, AMT, a Pacer. The DT12 is a piece of junk. What do you think? You having good luck with them?
I think 4 or 5 years ago they had some pin issues internally, but the last 3 model years we really don't have any issues with them. Again, we're not running them out to 6, 7, 800,000 miles, so you're going to start to have problems whether it's clutch or AMT side, but we don't see many problems at all with transmission.
Another reason to get rid of them earlier.
Sure.
We're not
there's a
doing
balance
major
there.
repairs that you're on the hook for because there's no warranty.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, you'd have to buy extended warranty with the trucks or something like that too.
Yep.
But then still the truck is down for however long to do a huge repair on it.
That's right, and then, we base a lot of life cycle off of cents per mile, how much the operating cost is going to be for the truck with maintenance built in. And when you get to a point where you see the maintenance cost really rising and fuel degradation, so the new trucks always get better fuel mileage than the year before. It's mandated from the EPA. They have to get better fuel mileage. So when you compound the fuel mileage with your increased maintenance cost, oftentimes it's cheaper just to buy a new truck.
I'm glad the government does this stuff for us, that they help us with our lives.
Yeah, that's
I
also,
feel like a lot better about that in my life.
It also may contribute a little bit to why they're being more expensive now,
Oh.
because they're forced into all these new advances.
I don't
in
think so. I
technology.
think the government only does things for our own good.
Sure. That seems like a happy place.
That's exactly what I would say publicly here in this forum. Do you guys watch soap operas? No.
Nope. Hard pass.
You're here working,
I am.
and I'm doing a YouTube video.
Yep.
So we
Who's
don't
got
have time
time
for
for
General
that?
Hospital. Luke and Laura, though, we're all about it. I mean, you know what I'm talking about. You've heard of Luke and Laura. Everybody has heard of it.
Yep.
You're right. Exactly. Most of my 20 years as a truck driver, who disappeared there, has been manual trucks. I've only driven an automatic a handful and prefer the manual. Yeah, that is true, and I prefer a manual too. I started on manuals because they didn't have automatics in 1988. But they have automatics now, and so I'm like, this is okay. My cars are automatics. That's what I'm like, oh, well, if I'm driving an automatic to work, why can't I drive an automatic at work? Sure. And then the first ones were horrible. I'm like, oh, this is why, because
Yeah.
they're terrible. And I think that soured a lot of people on them too.
Yeah.
They might have got one of those and said, oh, automatics are horrible.
Never want to do this again.
But they're much better than they were. The ATA does the best. Yes, the American Trucking Association is also our friend. They love us here on this channel.
Yeah, I'm very involved with them also.
Are you?
Yeah.
You like a member of the American Trucking
Yeah,
Association?
I'm the first vice chairman of S6 at TMC, which is the brake and chassis study group at the Technology and Maintenance.
That sounds
Council.
fascinating.
American
The
Trucking.
Brake and Chassis Study Group.
Yep.
I bet you guys are a real lively bunch.
It is actually. It's one of the. It's pretty cool. All
Big
the
party
air
bunch.
disc brakes, and then you've got electronic braking coming up. So we just.
It
did a
probably
big
is
segment
interesting
on
to
that.
you.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, for somebody that likes it, it's probably really fascinating getting into all that stuff.
I geek out on it a little bit.
Yeah, I
to
bet.
be
So
honest. Yeah.
that's the place for you.
Sure.
And if you can improve the industry with it, I'm all for it.
Yeah, we write recommended practices for everybody to use. If you're a if you're a member, you have access to all the recommended practices for all repairs across the industry. So we
Turns
go
out I'm
back
not a
to
member.
old stuff, but
I'm
yeah.
not a trucking association. I'm not a trucking company, so they won't have me as a member. Plus, I would never join a group that would have me as a member of their group, because then I don't want to join. Like the sands through the hourglass, so do the days of our lives. Right. So there's another soap opera person on there. Absolutely. We also watch telenovelas sometimes too. So I put on the sub, the words on the bottom, but also those are in Spanish too. So I thought, oh, this thing will translate for me. It doesn't work that way. I drove the older automatics and hated them, but the new ones are slick, right? Keep reaching for the clutch though every once in a while. Yeah, years ago I did that when before I started driving, I drove a forklift. And so all day it was up and down right here, forward, back, and I'd get in my car and turn to back up, and I would turn on the turn signal.
Right turn.
To back out of the parking spot when I would unload trucks all day. That was pretty funny. Not, I guess, just to me, probably, really.
Sure.
Most people probably don't find that story to be that fascinating. Is GP Transco a member of the ATA? It says Smart Trucking.
GP is not, but I am a member of TMC. Yep.
And that's
So I
part
go
of
to
the
all
ATA.
events. Yes, exactly. Yep.
Is GP Transco going to become a member of the ATA?
You never know. There's potential. Sure.
Okay. How does the lease program work? You may not know about that. Is it sensor mileage, right? The automatic in your car is not the same as an automatic in a semi? Yes, that's correct, right?
That is correct.
And it was closer in my Focus, which was a dual clutch automatic.
Yeah,
that
it
was
is.
more
That's
like
closer.
the automatic in a semi.
Yep,
Because it was actually two manual transmissions, two 3-speed manuals in that 6-speed Focus, which they called an automatic, but was really a dual clutch.
Yep.
And it would have the next gear waiting for you. It was very smooth.
Yeah.
I loved it. I mean, I thought it was the greatest transmission ever. They recalled a lot of them. They had a lot of problems, but mine, I didn't have any problems. All you had to do with that car every 2 months or so was go take it out on a flat road and put it in low and let it and floor it through the first 2 gears up to around 70, and it would burn those clutch faces, smooth them out, and then it would stop shuddering and it would run good again.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Very interesting.
Yeah, a mechanic at Ford told me that when I brought it in for shuttering. He goes, here's what you need to do. He goes, we don't need to replace this. This is what you got to do.
Yeah.
And it worked.
It's good do-it-yourself advice right there.
It was the greatest transmission ever. That car would get 48 miles to the gallon with that, and it was smooth, shifted instantly. I loved it, that dual clutch in that. I wish they used dual clutches and everything.
Yeah.
And it's closer to what the semi sort of is.
Yeah, it is. Yep.
The dual clutch, where the automatic in my car, no. It's totally different. Will they rent you a Tesla to come to orientation? Is this the old car channel or the trucking answers channel? Sometimes I get sidetracked on talking about cars because there were, you're geeking out on that stuff, right? There's a Mercedes out there that I was drooling over out in the parking lot because I'm a huge car lover. I love cars and stuff. So
Very nice.
yeah. Now, will they give a Tesla orientation? You're not on that part of it, probably that side, how they get people here.
I'm not so much on that side, but I've never seen one at Enterprise or National where they've got.
Yeah, well, I don't even know where you'd rent a Tesla.
I'm not sure either.
I'm not positive.
No, me neither.
Do you get it?
I get it,
Positive.
Pretty charged answer.
That's pretty good. I'm pretty good. That's right off the top of my head, too. Hard to believe I can do this, that I don't get paid for comedy. My wife, wait till my wife sees that. She'll be like, oh, yikes. More of these jokes. Got to run. Everyone stay safe. Thanks for being here, Alexandra. I appreciate it. Will GP reactivate manual shift? Oh, yeah. So the trucks don't manual shift, I heard. What's the dealio with that?
So we will, under certain circumstances. So right off the bat, the answer is no. Right when you're here from orientation, if we have several months where proven track history, where getting good fuel miles, we're not having any concerns, absolutely, we'll definitely consider it.
Does
We've
it
done quite a
is
few.
power reactivated or is that off?
What is
Perform. I
specifically?
think it says perform when you hold it. Is that on or not?
Performance mode instead of economy mode?
Yeah. Is that on or not?
No, we'll
You leave
it
that
on.
off?
Yeah.
Okay, but you will let people manual shift?
Sure.
Because I would want that over the road. I would not want to auto shift
Yep.
because I don't think it's right. I would like, you can do it in a car.
Sure.
Okay, I can hold the gears into my car. It should be the same in the truck. I should be the one to control how the truck goes down a hill and stuff.
Sure.
So I'd want it, I don't normally use it,
Yeah.
but on a hill I would use manual shift
So
for
all
sure.
all of the Freightliners, the top two you can downshift from 12 to 11 to 10, but it stops at 10.
Okay.
And then
Well,
we-
there could be
we-
bigger hills when I need a
We
lower
can
gear.
unlock that.
I would
obviously,
like
all
that.
the way down. Yeah, that's not much of an issue.
I would appreciate you unlocking it.
Sure.
Because I do think that if you're hiring an experienced driver, they should be the one to make the determination of how the truck is driven on the road. That's why you hire them.
Sure, I understand.
Not somebody who's not there in the truck at that second.
Right.
Let me control all the things in the truck.
Sure.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I hire an experienced driver.
Absolutely.
Right. So don't lock out the gears from me. Perform, I guess. I like Perform, but actually, I've actually timed it in my truck to 60. It doesn't actually make that much
Pretty much
difference.
the same, right?
Almost. It was like a second or so.
Sure.
But it hardly made it seem faster. Like, but it's actually not going any faster. I'm like, oh, I'm super disappointed in this. And I'm light. I'm like, well, it was like instead of 42 seconds, it was like 41 seconds or something.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be a lot faster.
Yeah, it's probably not worth the extra fuel then at that point.
It doesn't matter to me. I'm not paying for the fuel. Can my family live in the truck with you? You can only have one rider at a time. Is that correct?
That is correct. Yeah.
Okay, so if your family's one person, turn up the burner on that teal couch. This couch, like Sergey told me, is 1,800 pound rated couch, which
Yep.
is the most amazing thing because drivers were so big they collapsed it. That's what he said. And I said I was going to tell a story. And this couch is rated for 1,800 pounds.
It is.
And I looked underneath it. I was feeling it. It is sturdy.
It's built well.
This is no joke couch. I mean, the posts on it are this big. It's crazy.
Yeah, we actually took an old truck frame and made a couch out of it.
So you guys made this couch? Is that way? Oh, okay. I'm like, wow, because there's a huge frame underneath this couch. My truck will pull a gear until the engine blows. Never had a problem upshifting then going downhill. I want to shift it myself. That's all I'm saying.
Sure.
The only couch made in the USA. Yeah. Where did you get a couch like this?
We ordered it online.
What, like sturdycouches.com or something? Oh, from Wish?
I think we
You ordered it
found-
from Wish in 2010.
I actually think we found the product online, and then the only place that had it in stock was Amazon. So this couch, I believe, came from Amazon.
And they'll ship a whole couch to you?
Yep.
What, does the UPS guy just drag this thing out of his truck?
Some of their stuff actually comes LTL if it's big enough.
Oh, so like yellow or whatever?
Yep.
And did you give the guy an application while he was here? Hey, why don't you come work here?
Might try to.
Yeah, here you go. So not only you got a couch, you also got an employee.
Yeah, perfect.
It is a very sturdy couch. I couldn't believe when he said 1,800 pound couch. I left the industry to be a stay-at-home autism dad. Unfortunately, my VA disability allows me to do this, but I appreciate you keeping in touch with the industry I left. Yeah, thanks for being here. You've been on the channel before, and I do appreciate you coming in. Look, keep giving the information that you have out to everybody else. There's always somebody that needs to know something. Are you hiring dispatchers here? Well, that's interesting.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah. Place to apply is right on our website, GP Transco.
Oh, you can apply as a dispatcher there too?
Sure.
Oh, all right. So yeah, GP Transco, right. I typically use the shifting when climbing hills, really. So I don't use it to climb hills, really. Just the downhill, I want to hold the gear in manual.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's the most common is descending a hill.
Yeah, some hills 10 is not low enough.
Yeah.
I want to be able to go 8 or whatever. It just depends on the hill. Depends where I am. Will you ever offer the Kenworths for leasing?
Not at this time. We don't have any plan to right now. They're all occupied, and for leasing, it's typically only new trucks for obvious reason. We don't want to lease out a 200,000 mile truck.
I don't know. Some places do. So
Yeah.
people always say, well, obviously, but in the industry, that's not obvious.
Sure.
There are people that lease a truck with 500,000 miles already on it
Sure.
for 5 years.
And that's not how we want to do it.
Right.
So
So what? It's Freightliner only, and they don't have that many leases here. Because Sergey was talking about that.
yeah, it's Freightliner only right now. If we were to order another manufacturer truck, then that'll change, just based on availability of new equipment.
Al says he's the VP of Crushing Truckers' Dreams. He's in management down at his company, so he's got his thumb on everybody right there, crushing everybody's all their life right out of them. That's how management works at places. Do you sell the retired trucks or do you trade them in? What do you do with them?
It depends on market conditions. So last year we've been selling them
I bet.
ourselves. Yep.
For more than you paid for them new. Almost.
It's been wild.
It's been very good.
So we've been selling them ourselves recently, but we will trade at some point.
Would you
again.
sell that truck to a driver and then have them lease it on here?
Sure.
I guess they
As
could
an
because
owner-op?
because the truck will qualify to come on here.
Absolutely. Yep.
What? There's really no
We've done quite a
qualification
few that way,
for
actually.
owner operator, right? The truck, as long as it
yeah.
passes inspection, is
Right.
good.
Yep.
Which I was surprised at when I heard about that.
Yeah, we did have last year. We had, and this year we've had company drivers become owner operators buying equipment that we're selling.
They could buy the truck they had.
Correct. Yeah.
Then they could make sure that it's been maintained because they're the ones that had it and know all the maintenance.
Absolutely.
So that you can't provide all these fake maintenance records that companies do.
We wouldn't do that.
My company does it. So when I got that sticker back for after 100,000, it had 2 oil changes listed on it, 50 and 50. But I drive it every day. I know it didn't have the 50,000. So that's why I'm always tell people to be very careful buying a company truck.
Yeah.
Because you don't know, because the company provides a record. They're the one that makes the record up.
Yeah.
They print it up. How do I know it got maintained? You just don't know.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
And
that-
it could be a lot of places do that. Probably to maintain their warranty or whatever.
Sure.
They would but it saves money to not actually do the oil changes.
Yeah, we can actually provide on most of these trucks oil sample history. So we do oil sampling. as
Oh,
well.
yeah, I don't think that tastes good at all. I would never try to taste that. Do you have any trucks for sale right now?
We have 0 for sale right now.
I'm a GP driver. Do you know about the descent mode? It's very nice. What's the descent mode?
I believe, are they talking about the top 2 where they can
It
downshift?
didn't, maybe.
I think that's probably.
So all the trucks will go 11, 12,
Yes.
10, 11, 12.
Yeah, yep.
Right off the bat.
Yeah.
And you just turn on the other gears.
Yes.
All right, so that's something to get started out with anyways, but no performance ever. I'm
Right.
always locked out of perform.
Yeah.
There's an Amber Alert, so we're gonna click that out of that. You can hear that. I don't think you've had this question, who do I drive for? People always ask me who I drive for, and I never say who I drive for on the channel. It just keeps them out of the channel.
Sure.
You know, and that way, you know, and I don't recruit for my company either. And I just think it's better because a company can say, well, you can't do this video, or you can't do that video, or whatever. We don't like what you're saying. Well, if I don't bring them in, then they'd have no say on what I say on my free time.
Sure.
But if you mention them, they're like, hey, you're mentioning us, so now you represent us. So
Yeah.
I just keep them out of there, and I think that's a better way. Everybody on YouTube, really, I think is a good way to do that.
Sure.
If you're going to be on there, for, you know, at all. Unless you're recruiting for your own company, but then you still got to be careful about what you say, I think.
Yeah.
You never know what they
Makes
would
a
come
lot
out and say, hey, you're recruiting for us, so hey, the stuff you're saying, we don't like it too much.
Sure.
You
Yeah,
know, they-
and I mean,
Oh,
sometimes
there comes one in there. Look at that. TL one coming in.
Yeah, and there's, you know, very little risk of somebody accusing you of having bias if you don't talk about the company you work for.
Oh, believe me, I get accused of that all the time.
That's a shame.
Don't worry about that. You should see the emails I get. Those are some of the tamer emails. So you don't have to worry about that. You got to have pretty thick skin to once you start reading through my emails. So, believe me.
Sure.
Just I wish it was. Oh, you're biased. Oh, okay. Thank God. That's the greatest email I've ever gotten from somebody. So the ATA needs to go a bunch of anti-drivers straight up for companies. So there you go. We're talking about the regular ATA, not where you're doing safety stuff or
Yeah.
you know. The American Trucking Association, I'm not a huge fan of.
Yeah, I'm on the maintenance side, so we're more just repairability and how that looks, especially going forward with new technology. How do you fix the new stuff? How do you fix the old stuff?
Right.
We're
You're not into
training
the.
for technicians. We do the national technician competition, so
Oh,
I
I've seen
judge that. Yeah.
Oh, really? Oh, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's a ton of
I
fun.
bet you win it every year then. I vote for me
deny
again.
any
Oh,
elevation.
what do you know? I'm the best again. Sorry. I'm totally not biased.
Yeah.
Mark recruits for other companies. We just have to cross all the ones. Just cross off all the ones he promotes. That's true. That's true, right? Good company. I'm always talking about good companies, which there are not that many of.
Yeah.
So it doesn't take a lot of time, and that's sad in the trucking industry that there aren't that many.
Do you think that's getting better?
No,
No.
it's getting worse because companies are doing more and more to get new drivers. And so they're sucking up people, like all these companies that shall remain nameless, that get all the new people, and they just spit them right back out. They'll never get here. They'll never get their year and get here.
Sure.
Because in 3 or 4 months of getting a $500 check and being gone that whole time, and 3 people in a truck, they quit the industry because they're like, trucking is horrible.
Yeah.
And you're never going to see them. And it's getting worse because those places have a lot of money. They have 10,000, 15,000 trucks. So they can spend a lot of money on ads and they get all these people.
Yeah, training programs.
Right. And then they don't ever get here.
Yeah. That's a shame.
Do you have any 3-bunk trucks here?
We don't.
Yeah, I bet. Have you ever seen one?
I have not. I've
They're
never been
horrible.
inside one.
Oh, there's a YouTube video about it. A
have
driver
to check
did
it
about
out.
it. Yeah, imagine all the upper cabinets removed with another bed up there. And now there's three of you in there. That sounds like fun on Taco Tuesday.
A little congested. Yeah.
Yes, because and plus there's no storage. They take all those storage above the overhead storage out.
More people, less storage.
Yeah, to put a third person in the truck. I do know a couple of drivers for those companies, trainers that make a lot of money and never drive because they have 2 students. So they have each student drive. The guy just sits all week.
Wow. Interesting.
Yeah, and then those 2 drivers presumably quit immediately because who wants to work like that? 3 people for 3 weeks in a truck? Oh my gosh, it's barely big enough for one person and some homeless person you pick up who's over 18 years old and qualifies as a passenger at GP Transco, which you don't have to be related. Crazy, 3 people, they do even. Look it up, 3-bunk truck, type that into YouTube, and you'll see the video. A trainer does a whole video of their truck about what it looks like and all that in there. So absolutely.
I'll have to check it out.
Oh yeah, it's pretty horrible. That's the problem.
Doesn't sound good.
No, I cannot imagine that. 3 men in a tub and full of rum. Rum is the least of their problems in that truck, believe me. Plus, if you're stuck somewhere sitting for a day or whatever, oh my gosh. Drivers are not known to shower daily anyway, some drivers. And then so if you get a driver that's not great on that, I mean, it would have to be, 100%. And I don't know where everybody puts their stuff. You take all the cabinets out. Where do you put all your stuff? Just sit it on your bed when you're not using it?
Yeah. Yeah. Almost have to be. Almost have to be cargo nets in each bunk.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
and it'd be hot in there and cold, and I guess you could snuggle. There's some snuggling. 3 bunks for 1 hitchhiker and 7 small dogs. Yeah, 7 dogs and a hitchhiker. He was telling me about people here that had 7 Pomeranians. Even though they're small, that is a lot of dogs.
It's a lot of dogs.
I mean, I even like dogs. There were a couple dogs here earlier. There's an Australian Shepherd here,
Yep.
and some little furry dog. I don't know what that was. I don't know if that was a Pomeranian or anyway, they were small.
Sure.
And those people each only had 1 dog. There's 4 drivers here. We didn't check under the bottom bed. Yeah, as the bed lift up and you have a little more storage in there. What's with the EPUs? What do you think about those?
I like them a lot.
Really? Do you like them better than a diesel-powered APU?
I do.
Really?
They're very reliable. Really reliable.
How long will it last before the truck starts?
It depends. So air conditioning obviously draws a lot more power. So the truck might start once or twice during the night, charge up the batteries, and shut back off if you're really using it at a high level. If you're just using heat, essentially, that's like a Webasto heater. So it's just drawing fuel from the fuel tank with essentially a spark plug to ignite and
Right.
its own heating system.
I love
So
those heaters
That'll
on front
very
heaters.
rarely need to start up in those conditions. So,
That's awesome.
yeah.
Oh, thank you very much, George Costanza. I appreciate it. I have this issue with Werner. He goes to Joliet, right here in beautiful Joliet. Gets a shag load that goes to Chicago. Pays $25 for 8 hours of work. What do you think about that? It's another reason why people don't stay. Do you have a minimum pay for a shag?
That's a better operational question than
All right, we'll
than
get
maintenance.
Sergey and ask
Yeah.
him. That would be on the
Can answer
website.
that.
I'm going to say local. I don't actually know how local work like that would go work. That's basically local work. They're saying go run trailers around locally.
Yep.
That should all pay hourly, personally, I think, or some kind of daily rate.
Daily
So,
rate, yep.
I don't know what they would pay here about that. I'll tell you this. Just knowing the place, you're going to get more than $25 for 8 hours of driving around.
Yep.
I mean, holy mackerel.
To the best of my knowledge, all local drivers here are on a daily rate.
Right, but this person is road driver who's just that day happens to do this local kind of work. They're not a local driver. And then to get $25, how does a company even look at themselves in the face?
Yeah.
And ask anybody, it doesn't matter what they're doing, anybody that works in here to come in for 8 hours and give you $25.
$25, yeah.
Well, for the people in here, you couldn't because it'd be illegal. They'd have to get at least almost $60. Well, actually, the minimum wage in Illinois is probably more than $7.25.
Yep.
So they'd probably get $100 at least to just come in here, to do nothing if you just made them come in. And then here a driver getting $25. And then this is the problem with the industry.
Yeah, it's not right.
You need to go tell your buddy at the ATA about this, Chris Spear.
Will do.
Do you ever meet him?
I have.
Oh, tell him Mark says he makes $1.3 million a year because he does.
I'll let them know.
And that he's legally prohibited from driving a semi on any road in the United States, which is true.
Okay.
I call him out for that all the time. He can't drive a truck on a public road. He could be arrested for that. He doesn't have a license. He heads the ATA, though. Jay, thank you very much for that. Can I carry a firearm, weapon, or defense tool? A self-defense tool. I love that. Like a pickaxe? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we don't want weapons in the trucks for obvious reasons. I mean,
What
that's-
about a gun? Can the driver bring a gun?
No.
So absolutely no gun. How about a weapon like a self-defense tool, which I have no idea. I'm
So if you're
picturing a
talking
gigantic
a-
sword, a broadsword.
Not a big fan of big swords in trucks. If you're talking a multi-tool with a knife or something on it, obviously that's fine. But or a pocket knife for that matter. But
Okay, I wear a
Different
knife.
states.
I wear a knife all the time. What about that?
I don't think there's anything wrong with that. No.
This I use it. I actually use it at work a lot.
I imagine you do. Yeah.
You know, to cut, and it's only a couple inches, right?
Yep.
But so this kind of thing.
Zip ties, whatever you may need to.
Yeah, a hose or whatever
Yeah.
has to be cut, right? It's very convenient to carry that.
Yeah, I don't know.
It could be a self-defense weapon too, but it's not like an axe, a battle axe, which is what I'm picturing.
Yeah. As, you know, on the firearm side, there's so many different regulations depending on what state you're going to go in, and you never
Oh,
know
I
where
can't
you're going to
imagine.
go state by state.
If a driver shot somebody and you actually allowed them to carry a weapon, we're like, oh yeah, it's fine. Oh, I mean, you'd be talking to a hammer about that.
Yeah,
I
and
love it.
there's lots of shippers and receivers that also have policies that.
Well, you probably wouldn't
Well,
carry it around.
But
You're
if
like
anything ever
sling your
happens, yeah.
M16, just sling it, walk in there. Oh, I'm slung it. It's okay. I mean,
Yeah, reciprocity check or something.
so
like
a
that.
knife that would otherwise be like a pocket knife or a small belt knife is the only thing that would be allowed. That's
I think that makes sense.
right.
Yep.
That's probably most companies, to be honest with you. Most places say no guns, even if they're otherwise legal, because some drivers know all the laws and that, but
Yep.
you're still saying no. As a company policy, we're saying no.
Correct.
Even if you're in somewhere where it's legal, like Nevada or whatever, where they don't care. I actually don't know the law in Nevada. What are the driver requirements Who should you contact? We can always go to GP Transco. DriveGP.com is where I
Yep.
send people, and the information will be in the description. After the video loads up, I'll fill the description back out with any phone number that he wants or whatever. And you need a year of experience, right? Basically, and no endorsements.
Yeah, you can always just give us a call too, and somebody can.
What's the
explain.
phone number? Sergey
It's on our
didn't-
website.
Its phone number's on the website, right? I didn't call, so I don't know the number either. But drivegp.com is, and I will put the phone number. I will find a number,
Okay.
and put it in the description. When it takes a while for YouTube to upload videos after you're done with a live show, it takes some processing time or whatever they do with the video. Do you have shipper receivers that have a pet policy?
I don't think we've run into that really as far as an issue.
I just keep since they allow a dog, I'd say just keep the dog or cat or parrot or whatever in the
Yeah.
back and close the curtains.
I don't
if
really
it's a problem.
recall having
Once in a
any
while,
issues
I
there.
would see one, no pets, but you just put it in the sleeper and shut the curtains. They're not going to search your truck.
Sure. Yeah.
Generally, or I've never had anybody do it. You know,
I can't answer that as far. I haven't.
that's
seen
more
it.
refrigerated with food. I think they
Sure.
usually. I don't know why. A lot of dogs are cleaner than a lot of drivers I've seen at truck stops. I'll tell you that. Holy mackerel, dogs! And you're going to have a dog wash here too, right? Sergey
talking about
talked
it,
about
yep.
a dog wash. They're going to have. Not only can you wash your truck, you're going to be able to wash that dog. Can I bring up my friend
Kalichnikov.
Kalichnikov, nice, very nice. That's a good, and it would be over 18 probably if you had one here. Although some new ones,
Yeah, they make some new ones. Sure.
yeah, right. That was I forget that movie with Clint Eastwood. Do you remember that? I can't remember that. He was in the service and he said that it has a unique sound, makes a unique sound. You probably don't know him. Young people don't know anything. Is this a good company to shoot out to Carolina Chic IDM? You know who that is? I don't know.
Yeah. Yep. She's in safety manager.
Oh, okay.
Here
All
at
right.
GP. Yep.
All right. Well, that's somebody here too. Is she bald like you? And,
No.
Sergey.
No.
Okay, so she's not in on the program yet?
No, not yet.
Maybe?
Why not? More the merrier.
Yeah, sure, right. It's short, cuts down on a haircut.
Yeah,
Even
it does,
I'm almost there. I mean, and they still ask me if I want to buy stuff at Great Clips. Oh, would you like some product? I'm like, no, I'm not a millennial with skinny jeans and a hair bun.
Yeah, this
so,
is all just do it yourself right here.
Exactly. Yeah. Let's see. I don't care about the policy or not. I'm the one there amongst the animals, and they're going to carry regardless. Heartbreak Ridge was the name of that movie. That's correct. They're going to carry regardless. I will say some people say that, but if the company finds out, you'd be fired for that. I'm sure that's a fireable termination thing at most companies. So if you're going to carry a gun, and they don't know, they would never know, of course. You're not strapped and you're coming in like hanging off of here,
Right.
but you'll be fired for it. You would be fired for it. George Costanza, the $25 for 8 hours shag pay and bonus and 30 miles rate. Oh, 2 hours to get to the consignee and get on dock, 2 to 3 hours empty, 1 to 2 hours to get back. That's ridiculous for 25 bucks. I don't know. I would call, at that company, just call up the chain. Forget your dispatcher, right? Go up. It's a big place. And say, what are we doing? Are we going to pay me $25? Everybody needs drivers.
Yeah.
Say that. Everybody needs a driver. And
true.
$25
It's
is,
very true.
it's only barely more than you make to be at home.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just not, trucking is just not worth it at so many places like that. The truckers coach bombed out, so looks like they got themselves another shilling. The Trashy Trucker Show, I'm shilling, I guess, for GP Transco. By the way, GP Transco is not paying me anything for today, although I did get this truck, which I didn't know I was going to get, right? So that's pretty awesome. That'll go at home, but I'm not being paid for this. I came here on my own dime for GP Transco, so there is that. No pay for today. So $4.02 for gas today, by the way, in Lafayette, Indiana. So the Escape takes premium, so that's premium, but $4.02 for gas today. So, but look, I'm coming up because I like the place.
Awesome. We're
Because
glad to
I'm
have you.
here and I'm not being paid, so I like the place. That's why I'm here.
Very good.
And I don't do this much because there aren't many good companies, and that's the truth. So you can take that from somebody who's not being paid. Okay, so there you go. Smart Trucking, good job, Mark. Keep the rubber side down. It's Thanksgiving. Oh well, happy Thanksgiving. Thank you for being here today. It's good to see you, Dave. What's going on? All right. So happy Thanksgiving and have a good day up there. That's Dave from Smart Trucking, who also is a big fan of GP Transco and has talked. They had a truck. You guys delivered a truck to him that went to Canada, and he did a video about it.
Yep.
So that was pretty nice. I didn't get a truck delivered to me, but hey, that's okay. It's Dave, Smart Trucking. That's all right. I mean, I could get Meyer or whatever. There's room for a truck, Okay. Do you guys give tickets for? Do you guys give any tickets up for the Three Doors Down concert? I don't know what that means exactly. Am I
would
missing
like to
something?
Have some myself. Yeah.
Is that a
I don't have
musical
anything to
group?
give. Yeah.
Okay.
They're pretty good.
Are they?
Yeah.
Do they open for Neil Diamond or anything like that?
I kind of doubt it.
Okay.
Yeah, probably not recently.
Let's see. You went there for your viewers. I absolutely love what you do. Thank you very much, Al Johns. I appreciate it. Yeah, I do want to come up here to give information out about a good place so drivers don't have to get $25 for 8 hours of pay.
Yep.
And anymore, there's plenty of jobs. If you'll just keep a safe record, you can come here to GP Transco. And I don't know what it pays. I'll guarantee it's going to be more than $25.
Yes.
I guarantee you that.
Yeah, it will.
So there's no question about that.
No question.
Let's see, ready for the Garmin GPS giveaway. I don't have my timer here or anything, so I don't know. Maybe Sergey could come over here. I don't know how we would do that today. So Thanksgiving, maybe we will save that because I don't have anything in the description or whatever, and YouTube gets all hinky about that. So we'll have to do that. I think we'll have to do that at another time. That's what I'm thinking about that. What time is it, by the way?
It is 1:10.
Okay. Are you, am I holding you up from anything here today? Okay. I know that another truck just got pulled in. I know you got stuff to... John, Thanksgiving in Canada, right? Yes, absolutely. Let's see how we're doing that. So, what other things would you tell drivers to help you? What can a driver do to help the maintenance crew out?
Communicate. That's our biggest thing we can use as a tool for us to diagnose the truck and maintain it better for the driver. So if you're having issues, give us a call. Send us some pictures that you can text maintenance. We have all the technology to communicate
be
with you pretty much anyway. Yeah.
Now, it makes a weird noise.
Very helpful. We can determine if it's something that needs attention right away. You know, hey, it's minor. It's a rattle in the door. We can wait till PM if the driver's comfortable with it. But the more we know, the better we can help.
The
If we
more you
don't
know,
we
like
can't
that.
help.
And I should have that
Yeah,
star,
yeah,
but I can't because I'm on the phone, or I could do the thing across there, right? The more you know. And be specific, I think. People are never specific when they write stuff
right.
up. Oh, it makes a noise. What does that mean? And then they give it to you and they're at home.
Yep.
Now
It
what?
shakes.
Yeah, it's shaking.
Get in the wheel, in the seat. Where do you feel it?
Yeah, what's
What
happening with it?
speed? The more information, the better.
That way it can be fixed. Otherwise, you get the truck and you got to go back 12 times. You're mad at the shop, but you didn't tell them really what's wrong with it.
Absolutely. Yep.
They don't know. You guys drive the trucks? Do you like take the truck down the highway or whatever if you
We
need
do,
to?
depending on what the issue is.
Does
yeah.
somebody here, does some of the mechanics have a license?
Yes.
Really? All, do you? Do all of them?
I don't. I used to be a CDL holder when I moved from Upper Peninsula, Michigan, back down to Illinois.
Oh, a UPA.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. You betcha. Hey
Oh,
there.
hey there.
Yeah. It was some of the transfer stuff between the states was more cumbersome than I don't use it anymore, so I just let it go.
Oh, Illinois is probably really strict about that. If
Yeah.
you came to Indiana, we don't care.
Yeah, it would have just transferred, I believe.
Oh,
directly
I think
to
you just give them $5. I mean, I mean, they don't really care at all in Indiana about anything. So I went to the pilot down the street. There's mask policies and stuff here in Illinois. What is going on here? $3.55 for gas down there at that pilot, and there are only 2 parking places. The one right down the street here.
Yeah.
It's small.
It's a small.
It looks dinky. I didn't want to walk in the back because I was afraid my car would get towed away. Because there's big signs, immediate tow if you're not a customer. So I actually went in and bought a water just to get a receipt.
Yeah. Yeah, there are some nicer ones. I think there's a new Thornton's there, kind of kitty corner from Pilot, or across the street from Pilot's a lot bigger.
Yeah, but because I'm a driver, I have to go in the pilot wearing a headset and talking loudly. You're required to do that. So you have to just always be speaking as loud as possible. And especially in the bathroom. When you're in the bathroom, you get in there, you loud as possible. Get in the stall really loud. Oh, yeah, no problem. I can keep talking. Don't worry, just keep going. Yeah. If you've ever experienced that, it is a thing. It is absolutely. You're given a headset when you get your CDL now,
Yeah.
and you have to put it on.
Yeah, it's like the movie Click. They just keep turning up the volume.
I don't know what that is.
Oh, Adam Sandler movie.
Is he a actor?
It's debatable. Some people say yeah. I kind of like him myself.
Wasn't he in that movie with Bob Barker?
Yes. Yeah, it's a great movie.
I didn't see it. I saw a clip with him and Bob Barker.
Yeah,
I don't know anything about it.
they fight. It's fun. Bob Barker beats him up.
I would believe it. He seems pretty tough. That little teeny microphone
Happy
that he has.
Gilmore.
I didn't see it. Is it on YouTube? What's the team home time and that kind of thing? See, we're on the wrong person, I think.
Yeah. Again, that stuff is going to be more operational, but it does depend on where you live and where your home time is.
The farther away you live from here, the
The longer you'll be out.
right.
Yep.
Because, well, plus this is the place to live, right? Joliet, Illinois.
Yeah, I mean,
It said, I was looking at those travel sites. This is one of the cities you have to visit before you die. One of
Sure.
10 cities.
yeah, we've got an old courthouse.
It is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I like all the bullet
Haunted
holes.
house. There's Statesville Prison was here in Joliet.
wow.
Lots of cool old stories there.
I bet.
Lots of gangster era.
Blues
people in
Brothers
there. Yeah,
from
Blues
around
Brothers,
there.
Yep.
That's a movie
Yep.
I saw. Now that movie you saw, I guess.
Route 66. starts right here.
Oh, nice, with the guy from Emergency. Very good, right? You don't know what that show is, I'm sure. George Costanza, GP 14 weeks out, 14 days home. No, earlier Sergey said no. The longest you could be out was 7 days. And then you had to take 7 days off. They don't want people out, or 7 weeks, and then 7 days off. He said you couldn't stay out 14 weeks. So, because someone did ask about longer time for that. And there's no hazmat pay because you don't hold hazmat.
That's correct.
And you're not required to have a hazmat.
Also
And GP then presumably also does not pay you to renew your hazmat on your license because you don't need it. So
can't answer that definitively.
I would say probably not.
It would make sense.
Well, companies do things that don't make sense. Like my company, we don't haul hazmat, but they pay you to renew your hazmat. They pay you to get it if you don't have it, and then at renewal, they pay it. And you never use it. I don't know why you would do that. Does that make any sense to you?
Well, I mean,
They'd be like, here, you make everybody get doubles endorsement and pay it.
Yeah. Well, maybe they
Mandate
they've done
it.
it once upon a time. And
Maybe,
think
but,
they make
so they're
might
like,
get
let's
back
have
into it.
every driver have it in case we get one load. So let's pay all these hundreds, I think it's $130 or something, you know, and fingerprinting and all that. Yeah, they pay your time off to go get fingerprinted if you're working,
Wow.
to
That's
go
good.
get it, and then you never use it. But I get it because they pay it.
Sure.
So it's
yeah,
on
why
my
not?
license.
Yeah, absolutely. I would too.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah.
But it
Valuable.
just seems like a complete waste of time. But companies do all kinds of stuff that waste their time. So maximum 7 days off. That's what Truckers Coach is saying. He's one of your drivers here. So that's what Sergey said too. 7 weeks out, 7 days is the longest they want you because they want you to have a little break.
Yeah.
I mean, people want to be out, but really you do need a break from work.
Sure.
I mean, work is great and all. I mean, who doesn't love to work? I mean, that's what people say. On Sunday morning, I wake up and think first thing, oh, I can't wait. I only got a day left before I got to go back to work. So, but you do need a break from work, even if you love what you do.
Sure.
Take a break from it. Family is the most important thing. That's what I think anyways.
Yes.
Always go with your family because once, if you get sick or whatever, that's the most important thing. Nobody thinks, oh, man, I can't wait to get back to work. And like, wow, I can't wait to get my family or whatever, you know.
Yep.
You can stay as long as you like, but the home time is 7 days unless agreed to advance. If you'd like to take a paid week vacation and 7 days home time, okay, is a TWIC card required?
I don't believe it's required. Sometimes we get loads that it is required, though.
Really?
Again, this is a good question for operations.
Yeah, we'll have to have Sergey answer that question. Wouldn't seem like there's too many TWIC loads here. Rail, do you pick up at the rail yards a lot? That'd be where I think you'd get them.
Again, that'd be a better operation.
Gasoline, do you get a lot of tanker gasoline loads here?
No.
'Cause
None.
it leaks out of the trailer.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Be kind of messy.
Yeah, you could tip
Talk
the trailer
about hazmat
forward,
problems.
tip it forward and fill it up. That's how they filled me up with potatoes all the
Yeah,
time.
you'd get a couple gallons in, and it'd probably stay for a little
I
while.
mean, they tipped the truck I had forward and filled it up with potatoes a number of times on a conveyor belt. And then they dumped it out in reverse at the place I delivered to. They put you on a ramp and lift the truck up and dumped them out.
Kind of like the trash.
Horrible because it was a refrigerated that still had the grooves in the floor. And all the potatoes would jam potatoes front to back. I was at the Blue Beacon for hours, and I don't know what it cost, like $150. I didn't pay it. It was a company truck, but I mean, just a huge waste of time.
Sure.
I thought there's got to be a better way to get spuds moved around the country than a refrigerated trailer where you just floor load them.
Yeah.
The trailer looked like a crime scene. A potato, like a Mr. Potato Head had killed a bunch of people. The best way is to go to GP Transco. Do you have preventative maintenance and leverage for your telematics for staying on top of maintenance at GP Transco? Ooh, how about that?
Did that say preventative or predictive?
Oh, probably predictive. I went to public school, so
Okay. So predictive maintenance is pretty awesome. We use some of the software, everything available to us through the manufacturer. So Volvo has basically a phone number you can call and find out what's going on with the truck.
hello,
Freightliner-
this is Volvo. Because you're called Sweden.
Sure, yeah. Freightliner has a portal that you can, in real time, over the air, find out what's going on with the truck. So if you have a check engine light on your truck, you get a hold of us in maintenance. We can pull up the profile, see what code, what time, their recommendations, take it to the dealer. It can wait till next PM, whatever it may be. So
I've always wondered why trucks didn't do that.
Yeah,
I mean, I
it's-
can
it's a
look
good-
up engine codes for my car.
Sure.
It sends you a text
Yep.
through the app.
Yep.
And it goes, here's your engine code. I'm always thinking, why doesn't the semi do that to a shop? But you're saying it does.
Yeah,
Oh, so I guess my company just doesn't do it.
yeah, we can.
Because they're always like, man, we don't know what it is. Just drive it. Until they
Yeah.
say it'll probably go off later. That's what I've been told.
You can have
Oh,
it set
good idea.
to email the shop if we want it that way, or we can look at it. And
Hello, this is, that's what the car.
we can send over the air updates too.
Nice. The car will email me too. Hey, it's your car. I got a problem.
Yeah.
I'm like, why don't semis do that? Jay says, can I off-road your trucks? Thank you very much for that, by the way. No, which is the best off-road? Hypothetically, can you off-road the trucks? Hypothetically, no, probably.
No, no.
You can only go where you've been, the address that you're assigned to.
Yeah.
Some may be less than desirable with a lot of
Yes,
potholes, I
some can
will
be-
say that.
It's kind of like off-roading.
Yeah, some are like that, you know. Who's the main customer? Yeah, what's one of big loading customer? Is it Target? Target's right down the street here. Do you load there?
Yeah, that's better operations. It's changing from
No,
time to time.
I just thought because I
based
drove by
on-
here, it's not like a secret.
Yeah, they're
Target
next
is right
door.
there.
Yeah, it's
I
a
thought,
huge
oh,
place.
I wonder if GP Transco does business right there.
There's lots of containers over there next door too, which we don't get involved in.
No, but it would just be a good place.
Yeah,
it just
it's
seemed like
close.
I don't
Very
know.
close.
They could maybe they don't go there at all. I have no idea. Sure. But I thought, oh, here's a gigantic Target distribution center right here.
Yep.
Your company can send to a lot of people, so they may do that as well. Maybe. Okay, maybe they do it there. They don't seem like they know what the engine light is, even if they plug in the thing, which is Bluetooth now apparently. They plug in and then they have a tablet that they look at that they could walk around with as they turn the RPMs of the truck up or whatever on this tablet. And then after 20 minutes of fiddling around with that, they unplug it and go, well, it'll probably go out later. Just go ahead and drive it. Don't worry about it, you know. Awesome. I go, well, okay, it's your truck. I mean, I can't care more about it than they do.
Yeah. Well,
They want you to, be care about it. But if they don't care, I can't care more than them. It's their truck. So if I break down, I just got to sit there and wait for them to bring me one, you know. Math and probability happens. Yes. Tanker license, we don't have liquid totes here. Like I work here. There's no liquid totes here.
I'm not aware of any.
You
time
see
we
that in
need
refrigerated usually.
Yeah.
They're gigantic totes, but since you don't need a hazmat, Sergey went over that, no hazmat, so you're not going to pick up any of these things. And so liquid totes, he said you don't need any endorsements. So that would include tanker. So we're going to say no on that. Crime is up on truckers. What do you do if someone is trying to break in your trailer? Well, out here you probably go run them over with this four-wheeler thing.
Yeah, this is all gated, so they're
But
not
that
they're not
wouldn't
gonna get
stop
back
criminals.
out. Yeah, well, if they did manage to get in, they're not going to get back out with anything, anyways. So
They could break in the back of the trailer.
sure they can, but the whole yard is gated. So they
I would
have
say
to-
call the police.
Yeah,
is what I would say. I
that's
wouldn't confront
number
anybody.
one, yeah.
That's probably dangerous. You don't know what they're up to, if they're on something.
Yeah.
Well, if you see something, say something. Oh,
Yeah.
how about that? Government said
Beautiful
that.
line,
But you
yeah.
should call the police.
Call the police and then let dispatch or somebody else know after police have been contacted.
Go find somewhere safe and call
Their
the police.
safety is before.
Right.
letting
That's not
operations-
true. We really care about the loads though, because that's how we make money. We can always get new drivers. Like, and I say, can we just talk about that?
Not true.
Okay.
Not true.
Be safe. Just be safe about it.
Yeah.
Fleet Nav, yes, thanks for being here, Fleet Nav Systems. I appreciate it. Let's see for coming in today. So, can I carry my firearm? It's Mr. Plow asked that again, and we're going to say no to any kind of firearm.
Correct.
Even an antique, black powder, crossbow, nothing.
Yeah, I'd have no firearm.
Right, I'm sure that's most companies. I think you're going to find at least whether they enforce it, probably would, because it'd be a liability if they didn't enforce it if they knew about it.
Yes.
And they're going to have a written policy, any company of any size that says no weapons.
Yeah.
And, what they determine as a weapon, it can't be a knife much bigger than my knife. They're going to start saying it's a weapon.
Yep. Oftentimes it's larger than the palm.
If it's a sheath knife that doesn't fold, that's usually considered a weapon, something
Yep.
like that,
Sure.
So we don't want to get into weapons. Plus, you don't want to get the driver arrested.
Right.
How about that? So there's an incident, and then the cop comes up and arrests the driver. Now you have a truck that might be impounded or whatever. That's a big problem for a company. Even though I give companies a lot of grief, you always got to think, you're still just an employee. You always have to think, what is the company thinking? Well, they have to protect themselves ultimately from lawsuits and getting their trucks impounded.
And again, I mean, from state to state, what reciprocity laws there are out there now are very complicated and convoluted. They change
Yes.
all the time, so you're not sure what state accepts what state, out of state, in state permit, resident, whatever it may be. It does get pretty complicated. It gets very complicated.
Hans at least got to go. Great interview. Take care. Keep on trucking. Thank you for being here. I do appreciate any knife or whatever. Right. It's just this small. It's not going to be a weapon, but anything bigger than that is going to be a big problem.
Yeah, I think so.
And so don't bother.
Right. Yep.
You're just taking your life into your own hands. And don't do that. You should take them to court, like they say on the People's Court, which is
Good
one of my
advice.
favorite shows. So that's correct. Right. Let's see here. Got to go. So Hensley's taking off. So you have any other last words here as we head out of here? I'm seeing the time up there. There's another truck pulled in there with a trailer.
Very nice. Very
Holy moly. Maybe, maybe not.
So yeah, all my
It is on fire. So.
well, that would be not nice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that wouldn't be good. Yeah, I guess from maintenance side, the only advice and the best simple advice I would give anybody is just keep up on your maintenance. Make sure you have the right tire pressures. All the basic stuff that sometimes people don't check is oftentimes the most vital. Tires are a huge expense, and tire pressure is the number one reason they fail.
Sometimes you can go to the Loves and they have that tire thing right there where it checks. They have a dude come out and do it for you.
Yep.
Because they should be done cold. We were right about that, right?
Yeah.
Check our tires cold. You can't drive 700 miles and then check your tires right as you blast off the interstate. And go,
Yeah,
oh,
and
they're
then
way
they're too
high.
high, let the
I
air
better
out.
let this down. I'm 150 pounds.
Yeah. Now you've got a flat tire.
Yeah, next morning all the tires are half flat and flat spotted on the bottom. Got to check them when they're cold.
Yep.
Trucker's coach has got to run. He's going to check his paperwork. He just got loaded, as we know he's one of the people here. So you probably met him. He's been here.
Very nice guy.
Okay, good. I've never met him. I was hoping he would be here or somebody would be here today, but nobody was here, just those Australian Shepherds.
Nice dogs too.
It looked
Good-looking dogs.
It looked nice.
Very
I don't know.
friendly.
It seemed to be.
There's two of them.
Really, I only saw one. Where's the other one?
Usually by the other one.
Oh, no,
Yeah,
they just had one.
Yeah, there's two of them. They live together.
Paul hasn't been anywhere that needed a weapon. Drive smart and park smart. Well, you just never know when you need a weapon, I guess, a battle axe. When you need it is when you need it. But
Yeah. Again, I think the best advice in a difficult situation would be to just call the police.
I do think you should park in a better place. I'm always against drivers parking at places that they think are not safe.
Yeah.
If you feel that a place is unsafe, don't park there.
Right.
Go somewhere else and park. Drivers are always trying to park at shippers, and I don't like doing that. Or I'll park a block down the road. I don't like it.
Yeah.
It just makes me really nervous to do that.
It's understandable.
Or like we have a Kmart that closed, so it's just an abandoned gigantic Kmart. You know what Kmart did you have?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, and so sometimes at night there'll be trucks parked in this parking lot. Well, anybody going by there knows that there's probably a person in that truck, and there's nobody else there.
Yeah.
And the store's closed.
Yeah.
All right, well, so you're ripe to be, robbed or whatever.
Yeah.
So I think that's not a safe place to park for me.
I would agree. Yeah, well-lit areas.
Yeah, the lights are all out in the parking lot because they didn't pay their rent for 7 years.
That's
'Cause
not
it's
somewhere
been-
I'd pick.
Yeah, then drivers like, oh, look at all this room. I can park in here.
Yeah.
And then in the morning, the gas has been put through the vent. Kelly's got cooking knives. That's interesting. They don't make a great weapon, though, because if you stab somebody, that doesn't stop your hand from going on the blade.
Right,
You
yeah,
want something to hold your hand. So
I mean, if it has a practical purpose, obviously for preparing food. I mean,
he actually has a YouTube channel about it and does a lot of great cooking in the truck. You
very
should
cool.
watch it. Yeah, he's one of your drivers. And it's really amazing, the stuff that he cooks up in the truck.
it's awesome.
I know. I'm like, wow. Here I am eating a cheese sandwich on dry white bread, and he's cooking all this stuff up in his truck.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow.
We do a lot of camping, so I should tune in.
Really?
That'd be some.
I'm like, there are
some good stuff.
spices in the world? I didn't know any of this stuff. Right. I just have a butter knife, and it's plastic. Knives give you heartburn. Stay in the fuel line till your tires are cold. Yeah. So when you come off the highway, how long till the tires are cold?
I mean, if you're taking a break, I'd just wait till the morning.
Yeah, but say a driver needs to just stop in the fuel line. Could they check them after 30 minutes in the fuel line? That's
It's
interesting.
unlikely they'll be down to cold pressure in that time.
So it would give a
Depends
false
on the
reading.
atmospheric conditions and what the weather is outside. What
Now, the new
ground's
trucks
like,
probably
so-
have tire pressure monitors in them, right?
Some of them do, some of them don't.
They don't have them yet?
You can spec some trucks with our Kenworths do have TPMS in them.
You know, it's been '08 for cars.
Yeah.
'08, that was mandated.
Yep. Hey, I'm with you. I think it'd be great. Not all manufacturers are on
You have
board
to
yet.
spec them.
Yep.
It seems like that'd be the thing, especially for a company.
And some of them are not factory options either. It would be like an aftermarket.
Oh, God. Yeah, that's great. Get that from Wish also. 18 Wheel Chef is the name of his YouTube channel.
Cool. I'll
And
check it out.
he
Yeah.
really does a lot of great cooking in that truck.
it sounds
And his dog is so nice. It just sits there so quietly watching him. I thought, oh man, when I had a dog growing up, that dog would have been all over eating food right there.
Yep.
I can be deadly with a spork. Spork, right? Ryan pastrami with mustard. Oh yeah, I should get mustard. That'd be better than a dry cheese sandwich, it seems like.
Cheese sandwich with mustard. I don't know.
Better than the dry cheese.
Yeah.
And I get the cheese and then just dry bread.
Yeah.
And just a piece of and water.
I get some like salami or summer sausage. Spice
Oh,
it up a little
salami. Oh, sure. Yeah. Sure, you live in Illinois, you can afford salami, I guess. Oh, a cured meat. Oh, I've got cured meat now. G Bush 1014. Okay, thanks for that. Right. So look, it's getting on time, so I want to let you head out of here back to do your stuff. Anything else you got for us, or go to drivegp.com.
Absolutely, yeah. Come check us out, and we've got
Dispatchers
our
too.
positions yeah.
Office.
Maintenance. We've got
Do you need
technicians.
mechanics?
Sure, yeah.
What do they need to be a mechanic? Anything, or do they
I'd
can they
prefer
start doing
some-
oil changes or
Yeah, I'd prefer with some experience on even cars, trucks. It's up. I mean, we can work with
shade tree?
Yeah, I mean, if you're interested and you have the right skills, you have the right personality. Obviously, we do things a little bit different. We want everybody to have that right view and vision on what we do, and that's sometimes the most important thing.
That's
so
pretty good.
we can teach and we can train. So
So you think that's pretty awesome, really?
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks a lot. Thanks
absolutely.
for being here.
Well, thanks for having me.
All right. Well, I
appreciate
appreciate it. Thank you.
Good to meet you.
All right. All right. There's our maintenance tips for the day, I guess. Thanks for coming in. We're still sitting on our big couch here. You got to learn how to turn a wrench and take something out to replace it. That's all right. I'm just shade tree. I'm just thinking for myself, shade tree, but I don't know if I want to live in Joliet, Illinois, So that's what we're doing here at GP Transco today. So that's been our day here at GP Transco. It's been a great day up here. I want to invite everybody to go to drivegp.com, and I'll have this information in the description. For any other questions that you might have, be sure to call Sergey, whoever. I don't know who's going to answer the phone. I shouldn't say he's going to answer the phone. He's going to come out here and something's going to come flying at me. But he may or may not answer the phone, but somebody will, and they will take your call, all right? So I find this to be a great place. I did not get paid to come up here. For everybody that thinks I'm a shilling or whatever, I did not. So I just came up here because I think it's a good place to go on the road, believe me. Okay, so check them out. Make sure it's the right place for you. And I guess otherwise we're going to head on out of here for the day and see what's going on. So, and I'm going to head back before there's too much rain going on. Hey, Mark and Joliet, there's a few letters mixed up in short. Place you don't really want to live, located in the bathroom. Did I misspell it? I'm not sure. So it is Joliet. A few letters mixed up. I don't know. Maybe I misspelled something and don't know it. So either way, I'm not sure about that. So we'll be back to our regular live show next week. All right, there goes a happy driver right there. At 11:30 a.m., 12:30 Central, back for Weiner Monday at my regular show. And that's what we're going to do. So thanks for being here, and we'll see you on the next Trucking Answers.
thought you were talking.